secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum, baby.
Rebecca?
Hi, what's up, fuckers? Grand Rising.
Here to Chew Bubblegum, episode 52, part 1. We are in the process of recording it as we speak. In the studio with me is Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle of the Spooky family. With Rebecca is Wicked Wolf, correct?
Yes,
and
sir.
You guys are from a secret location in Massachusetts.
And I'm just here all by myself.
It's a Walmart bathroom. Hey, Rebecca, this is Elliot. I need to ask a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, she said yeah.
Okay. What's it like being a leader of a cult?
Very overwhelming. Very overwhelming.
Okay. I was just wondering. I mean, like, I've always, it's been a dream of mine, to be honest, but just to be around someone who's actually getting that done, it's just amazing.
Yeah, heavy as the head. Heavy as the head.
I understand. Responsibilities are huge. I get it.
Flavor is the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. When do you serve the Kool-Aid and what flavor is it?
Elliot,
It's funny you said we use Kool-Aid. That's funny.
I'm sorry. Flavor Aid. I know that, I get it.
Oh no, we hand out joints here.
Oh, well, that's, yeah.
It's in the weed.
I can see that. I get that.
and Dirty Dan's got a sign up says 10 out of 10, highly recommend. That was that is a great way to start a show.
Well, I mean, it's just, it's something I've wondered about for a while now. So.
And when you said I've got a question, I thought you were going to ask her how to read the map.
No. I figured out how to read the map. You just throw something at it, and whatever it lands on, that's probably what's real that day. So like, that's what I've got.
That is exactly how you're supposed to read the map.
Exactly. I figured that part out. Yeah, a little bit after I got it. So.
Yeah, and we're also live on Twitch, correct? We're up live.
Yeah, that's where the comments are coming from.
Yes, StreamYard. We can comment back. We're live. Elliot, I have a question for you. When will we get more Elliot's articles?
Buddy, they're coming. It's one of those things where we want to do it, and we try to do it, but then if you've ever listened to the Spooky Family podcast, each episode's like 2.5 hours long, 3 hours long. So we go in with intentions of doing a 1 hour episode and then recording all kinds of Elliot's articles, and yeah, that never happens.
Well,
so
it's just like our TikTok presence.
It's strong. Thank you.
It's really strong.
Beagle.
Right
yeah,
now.
we've done 5 videos 5 months ago.
Maybe,
so.
yeah.
Oh, so who's in charge of your TikTok? Is that Beagle?
That would.
Yeah, that would be Beagle.
That's me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. And I ask him all the time. I'm like, "Hey, man, when are you going to do some TikToks?" And he's like,
I brainstormed.
"If you want to take it over,
I just want to say,
Elliot, just go ahead
the
and take it
exact
over."
same thing that Elliot just said about Elliot's articles.
It's true. It's very true.
Oh, they're coming.
They're coming.
That's what
We
I'm
actually
telling
do have our theme, like our topic. We have it picked out and ready to go.
That's what she said.
Thank you. By the way, the whole Goose wearing a Dunder Mifflin shirt. I thought Eli was going to be here and we were going to like see some worms. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No,
The worms.
we're actually going to delay that just a couple of weeks because your guys' show will be 2 parts.
Awesome.
This part will be airing on Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody!
Happy Halloween.
And then it won't be Halloween.
Okay.
So you'll be taking us into November as well.
Happy November.
So
Happy not Halloween.
Happy Christmas pregame.
Do
actually,
not take away Thanksgiving. That is my fucking holiday.
Because the cult said so.
So says the cult leader, so it must be.
He was actually telling us a story before we got on the air about we may have some turkey shortages this year.
Yeah, turkey. Like we were told, I was told by somebody that now is the time to get your turkey and freeze it because come Thanksgiving and Christmas there may not be any left.
And for those of you guys can't see it, Rebecca now has her crown on.
Oh,
so
well, happy Flocksgiving to you,
it's
Rebecca.
bright pink and full of feathers.
Flocksgiving.
Happy Flocksgiving.
But it's always a fun time when the spooky family's in the house. Aaron, Wicked Wolf, what do you want me to call you today?
Auron.
Yeah, Auron.
Sorry, I do
no,
not
it's all
know
right.
why
It
I
looks
keep
like
saying
Aaron when you read it.
Auron.
I get it all the time.
So I'm just going to call you Big O. How's that sound?
It starts with an A.
Okay.
I'm going to call you
And then
Timmy.
the Big O opens up the conversation to go a whole different direction that you probably don't want to go.
Gotcha.
God, he is 0 for 5 today.
Auron. Okay. Rebecca, do you want to start out with some listener email? And
Oh, sure. Let me get that pulled up here.
and for everybody in the studio and Auron, Big A, AKA Timmy,
Timmy.
you guys feel free to help us answer the listener email as well. Rebecca and Dirty Dan have some real good ones at the end. So
Which one am I starting with?
start out with Kenny.
Kenny?
Yeah.
All right, this is from Kenny. Hello, Goose, Dirty Dan, Rebecca, and the rest of the Here to Chew Bubblegum family and listening audience. I recently found your show on Pandora. I've listened to a full of your shows and really enjoy the show. This may have been asked, but have you ever saw a UFO? If so, what did you see? And did this lead you to investigating them and create the show? Also, why do some people that write in end their emails with Roswell? Great questions.
Yes, I have saw one in '96 and one last year. It did not lead me to doing this. It did not lead me to doing the show. It did lead me to do an investigation. People enter emails with Roswell because that's the way that a lot of Art Bell listeners and people that called in would end. They would end with Roswell, which means simply, I love you, love and peace, peace and love, Roswell. Dirty Dan.
We have a game.
No.
You got to answer the question.
You got to answer the question, dumbass. What is this? Your first show?
It's my second.
Oh, okay.
See what happens when I leave?
The shit show gets crazier.
I mean, what else do I need to answer?
Have you seen any UFOs?
Every day.
For real, man. For real.
I don't know because they're unidentified. We've had this talk before. I don't know if I had an alien encounter.
Semantics.
Well, I mean,
They wiped his memory. Oh my God, did Goose just say semantics?
He did.
anything can be a UFO, though. I mean, honestly, as long as it's flying and it's unidentified, you've got a UFO. It doesn't necessarily have to be an alien.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm under the whole opinion, which old listeners know this, but I think it's mostly government. Like most of these things are government, run aircraft that we just they perpetuate the myth of aliens and it's aliens to keep the fire off of them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I'm not saying there's not aliens. I just think that the majority of sightings are some kind of government sightings.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I've had a few. I lived in Vegas for just about 9 years, and I saw some really crazy unidentified shit when I was camping up on Mount Charleston, which is like the big mountain that overlooks the Valley of Las Vegas.
Those are hermaphrodites.
Say what?
Those are hermaphrodites.
No, that was a different part of Vegas. There's a whole section of Vegas for that. But no, I completely agree because Vegas is right next to Nellis Air Force Base, which is the largest Air Force base in the world. And even though, we would see crazy stuff in the skies all the time, and you just kind of assume that it's things that they've got going on over there.
All right. Well, the cat's out of the bag, so apparently someone knows I've definitely been probed.
Howie.
We don't want to hear that story. Go ahead with the next
email.
Yes, next email.
Are you guys sure this time? I'm not going to get yelled at?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have a
How
game
dare
right.
you.
Says, hello, everyone. My question is for Dirty Dan. If you can share, what is your real name? You look very familiar to me. Have you ever lived in Florida? I can't share my real name because if I did, I'd have to kill you. I get that a lot. I have many doppelgangers. I have not ever lived in Florida, but I have been quite a few times. Florida man, semi-Florida man.
I think the easiest way for you to clarify that is to let people know how tall you are, because I don't think they know by you sitting there, but he's actually an ogre and he's 7 feet tall, and you would definitely never fucking forget if you saw him in real life. And I've never even seen him in real life. I've just seen him standing next to Becca, and he doesn't even, when he stands up, he's not even in the frame. His head is cut off. He's huge.
That is true. That is true.
The next email is from Reed. It says, "Hey, Goose and Dirty Dan, I love the first part of the anniversary show. I can't wait for part 2. Congrats on being picked to be on Pandora. Have a good week. And when will we get another installment of the Truth Is Out There show, Roswell? That will be coming up before the end of the year." So,
Very specific.
thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Reed, for writing in.
Thanks, Reed.
Gertie,
Yes.
what's your thoughts on the Truth Is Out There series that we do? Do you like that? Do you follow that?
I have not had a chance to actually listen to it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's listening to it. She just don't know it's the truth.
She just don't know. Okay.
I'm in school and I have 2 jobs.
Yeah, well, there's that too. She's kind of busy. So
Yeah.
another reason we haven't done Elliot's articles is because we can't get everybody in at the same time.
I can totally understand that.
Halloween. Yay, it's Halloween.
So, Rebecca, you want to go next?
This is from Dixon09. Greetings, it's Dixon09 here. Great show last week. I'm not a fan of barbershop music either, Goose, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. It seemed fitting to send it to you guys. I'm amazed at how fast the show has gone. If you do get on Sirius XM, imagine you do a live show. If I'm correct, how would this affect the current shows? For example, would you still get the weekly podcast show? Keep up the great work, guys. And you need to include Goose's daughter in the show more. I really enjoyed her segment this month. Roswell, and keep the ear candy flowing. So we are actually doing more live. Like, this is live right now. And since you and I have teamed up, we've actually been doing the recordings live.
Yeah, we have. And we play back video. We've not played back last week's show yet because it was a 2-part show. So we will have that up on the YouTube page in the near future. Thank you very much, Dixon09. As far as I'm concerned, it's always good to dream about hitting the lottery. And to me, to be picked to be on Sirius XM would be like winning the lottery. And if we ever get that, blessed.
So how does that work?
What do you mean?
Does Sirius XM, because I know they do podcasts, do they curate and like pick you, or do you have to apply?
Well, for Pandora, we had to send a demo.
Right.
We had to apply. They picked us to be on Pandora.
Right.
Now, Sirius XM owns Pandora.
Right.
So So Pandora is like their minor league.
Right.
So, and if your ratings and numbers and stuff stay good, you'll get picked to go up to the major leagues.
No, Pandora, you're the major league. Don't listen to him. Don't feel bad about yourself.
No. But, there's a lot, like you said, Sirius XM offers podcasts as well.
Right.
Then they also offer people their own shows on channels whose podcasts are doing well. So the ultimate goal of us is to I would be satisfied just being picked to be on their podcast section.
Right.
But if we went further, if we got blessed and went further, hopefully, we would still do the podcast show. It wouldn't really change anything, but that would depend over a lot of things, over what the papers and all that stuff said. Like, we had to sign an agreement once Pandora approved us, and I had to email it and fax it back to them. So
when do you get your charm?
Well, that is a different Pandora, but that is a very good question.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the same, because every podcast gets like a little charm that you can put on a bracelet.
Yeah. But that's
just
Pandora
sure.
Jewelers.
No, No, Goose, I think you're mistaken. I think that is a great Christmas present for anybody out there. If you want to get a bracelet with a little Here to Chew Bubblegum charm, Pandora is the place to go. So there you go.
Oh.
That's a plug for you guys, Pandora. Spooky Family Podcast. We're not filling out any paperwork, but if you want us, we're here. We're good.
Well then, Spooky Family, when are you going to get us a little pumpkin Pandora emblem?
As soon as they pick is Dirty Dan. I mean, I can't. I have no skills at making jewelry, but Pandora, from what I hear, is great at it. And as soon as they pick us, we'll have our little charm too. I promise.
Now, Dirty Dan, while you read the next email, I want to, and I showed Rebecca this. I've not posted it on the Facebook page yet, but I'm going to show what they brought with them. They brought a very nice surprise, and I'm sorry, Dirty Dan, that you will not be having any of it. But give me 1 second while you prepare the next email, and I'll show it to everybody.
Okay. We got a last name Sloan writing in. It says, "Hey guys, I figured I'd write to the podcast show this week. Loved last week's show. The email from Bowling Cox was by far the best one yet. What did Justin Perkins think about it?" I'm going to go ahead and say that Justin Perkins' response was Jesus.
Isn't that amazing?
That looks delicious.
Goose, you're going to Florida again. Come on, drop me a piece off when you come out to the airport.
See,
damn.
That's what the Spooky Family brings to the party. We love those. Yes, sweets. That's us.
Sweet Dough Bakery.
Sweet Dough Bakery on Facebook. If you want to check her out, by the way, that's where that came from.
Yeah, and it smells amazing. I cannot wait till the show's over so I can cut into it.
You're going to bring a new segment to the show.
What's that?
Intimate eating with Goose.
ASMR.
We can.
Yeah, I was just going to say ASMR.
Get some slices. And,
Let's brush our teeth after we eat cake.
dig into this delicious cake.
Moist.
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 Oh,
Moist.
worst English word ever.
I love saying that word.
Of course you do.
Oh, yeah.
It is probably the worst one.
So, did you read that last email, Dirty Dan, or was you looking at the cake?
No, I read it.
Okay.
It was
I
about
sure did.
bowling cocks.
Justin Perkins thought it was very funny.
Justin Perkins, by the way, with a brand new show called Retro Cult. It's amazing. Listen to it. It's good. It's a good show.
Yes, it is. Jared says, "Hello, Goose, Dirty Dan, Ned, Elliot, and
that's me.
Rebecca. I know that it's been talked about before, but after listening and seeing your interview with Luke Fugit, you should get him to make a Chronovisor TV to see if it does work or if it's make-believe. I love it when Luke is on the show. I learn something every time. And let's see. I learn something every time he's on, and his YouTube channel is amazing." Jared, I totally agree with you. Luke, I know you listen to every show. Get working on that Chronovisor.
Or else.
Yeah. Rebecca, next one's yours.
All right, Poison Apple here. Here to Chew Bubblegum. I send greetings and salutations, love and peace. I wanted to share my thoughts on time with you. When I think of time and when time started, I begin to think that time is infinite, but also does not have a starting point. So time is the sphere. With this way of thinking, can you experience time at different rates? What are your thoughts, Roswell? I think time is definitely infinite, and there is no beginning or end. And I think of time as kind of like a spiral, right? So you can go to like any point, like in that spiral, right? And then our thoughts also manipulate the density of time as well. Like time flies when you're having fun, right? My 12-hour drive yesterday was incredibly fucking long. You know what I mean? So like your thoughts and how you perceive and interact with the ether and reality dictate time.
Yeah,
Now
I'll totally
everyone
jump
take a
in and
sip of
add
the
on that. I
Kool-Aid.
love the idea that when it comes to how fast you move through time. So one of the things that connects us all is the collective consciousness, right? So if you're paying attention to a clock and you're aware of what time it is where you are, you're also energetically and vibrationally connecting to everybody else who's aware of that exact time and believes that it's that same time too. So when you aren't paying attention to what all of the collective people around you think the time is, that's why the whole time flies when you're having fun. That's why, if you're always looking at the clock, it seems like it goes on forever. It's because our perception also plays a factor in how time moves at the speed and density.
Like a watch pot never boils.
Right.
Okay, paradox time. What if you have fun watching a pot that never boils? If time moves fast, but a watched pot never boils, what happens if you have fun watching the pot boil?
I'm glad someone else asked this question.
See, Dirty Dan.
I would say that it probably implies that you're trapped in some sort of evil other dimension.
A time loop?
Yeah. That's how Groundhog Day happens.
I was just thinking that.
Fuck that stupid furry little animal.
Well, I have another question.
Are you talking about the groundhog or Bill Murray? Which one?
Both.
Oh, no, we can't be friends then. Bill Murray is my hero.
No, I like Bill Murray. I didn't say that.
Oh, I know.
just hate the stupid little
I
groundhog.
was talking about Timmy the Werewolf over there. We can't have fun if you don't like
Yeah,
Bill
he was
Murray.
talking to me.
Well, I have a question for you.
What's up?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
If a woodchuck could chuck
All
wood,
of
it would
it.
chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck.
Good answer. Dirty Dan, I think the next email.
Don't bring the heat, Goose, if you can't take it. Come on, let's go.
Oh, shit.
I've been doing this podcast stuff for a while now. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, are you a fan of The Office?
I am a fan of The Office.
What was the name
Yes, he is.
of the kids show that Michael Scott was on when he was little?
Oh, I can't remember, but the lady was very nice, and when they asked him what he wanted, he just wanted friends, and they had to be his friends, and they couldn't say no to being his friends. I remember that part, but I don't know the names.
Fundle Bundle.
Bundle Bundle.
Bundle
Okay,
Bundle.
there you go.
Dirty Dan, take us away with the next email.
Do I have to eat a worm now? Is that what-
No. No, you brought cake. You don't have to eat one.
I was making sure. 'Cause- Did I
All
just
right,
bring this all to a halt? I'm sorry.
No.
My bad, guys.
You're good, brother. You're good.
We got Stevie writing in. It says, "Hey, Goose and Dirty Dan, what can we expect from the show next year? Any new segments, traveling videos, UFO hunting, ghost hunts? Just curious what y'all had in mind." Well, I do believe the goal is to take the show on the road some.
Yes.
So that would
There's
be
talk of mammoth caves.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it would be really cool to do a segment or a whole show from Mammoth Cave. I don't know if we would get permission to do that. We might have to do it illegally.
Semantics.
isn't it public land?
It's public land that you pay to go on a tour of the cave, and I think you even have to have a hiking permit if you want to go hiking around the cave.
If people can take pictures in the cave, why can't I go live?
There you go. That's a very good
you
question.
wouldn't have to go all the way to Mammoth Cave, though. I mean, there's caves in Pike County.
Yes.
There's caves in
Yeah, but Mammoth
Somerset.
Cave is the entrance to Inner Earth.
Well, maybe, but but all of the cave systems in Kentucky are connected. So technically, any cave would be the entrance to Inner Earth.
So you
I
saying
mean, I
it's a
feel like
side
technically
door?
every
Yeah.
cave is connected.
Well, not really. I mean, there's a cave. There's a cave behind my house that just ends in a wall. I don't think it's connected to anything. But
That's
I mean,
because that's an old septic tank.
well, yeah, I think actually what it is back in the day, I live in a coal camp city, which was all run by a coal mining town, and they used to store like food and stuff inside of these caves because
Right.
it was temperature, So there's a lot of caves up in my area like that, but the caves in Pike County, especially near Elkhorn City and a little city known as Hellier, and the caves in Somerset and the caves in Mammoth Cave are all connected together. And if you really want to get into it and look at a cave map that goes through Appalachia all the way through Scotland, because Scotland used to be a part of the Appalachian Mountains before Pangea broke apart, all of those caves were connected as well. So, yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. You know, Kentucky boy, I've been studying caves for a while. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I was talking about. Is there's speculation and proof that there's an entire honeycomb system of cave networks that go under the entire planet.
Yeah, honeycomb caves. Yeah. Some are connected. No. Anybody remember the honeycomb cereal?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I was
yes.
just making sure.
Yes. I was actually getting ready to ask if you go in a honeycomb cave, would you find honeycomb cereal?
And see, that'd be awesome.
That's actually where they get honeycomb cereal. They mine them from the honeycomb caves.
That would be awesome. You just got little stuffed bears down there with pickaxes.
They're all alive like Ted, mining the honeycombs.
That would be
Fuck
excellent.
you, Thunder.
Oh, let's see.
Completely off the rails, Goose.
No.
Off the rails.
Benjamin says, hello, Goose, Dirty Dan, and Rebecca. If you could time travel, what soundtrack would you listen to? Like your top 5 traveling songs, Roswell. That's a very good question. Thank you very much, Benjamin, for sharing that one with us. Let's see. I'll go first if that's okay. And I'd like for everyone to answer this. My top 5, Stand By Me by Benny King would be 5. Back in Time by Huey Lewis and the News would be number 4. Power of Love would be number 3. Let's see. There was a song it was Chad Kroeger and somebody else that was off the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack.
Hero. Yeah.
Hero.
It's Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott
Yes.
from
Yes.
Saliva.
That would be number 2. And my number 1 time traveling song, what's the Highwayman song? The Highwaymen song. I Ride a Starship.
I cannot remember what it is.
But it would be a Highwayman song.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
And I can't think of the name of it right now. So whoever wants to go next, just jump in, and I'm going to look up the name of that Highwaymen song. Beagle, you go next.
All right. Let's see. This is specifically if I'm traveling through time.
Yes. You can time travel.
Let's hear it for the boy.
Boys.
Yeah.
Boys,
plural.
Boys, I'm sorry.
There's more than one boy.
I'm going to go with Hot Blooded.
Foreigner. Good choice.
Okay.
That's a good fucking song.
Also Head Games by Foreigner. Dirty White Boy by Foreigner. I was going to go with Foreigner again, but I'm not. Let's just
Kanye.
Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
Yeah, that'll work.
Letty.
My final one.
Yeah, you got to have a final one, man.
I'm also going to go a hero type scenario. I'm drawing a blank though, but the ending of Johnny 5.
Who's Johnny? She says.
From Short Circuit.
Short Circuit
yes.
2.
Yes, Johnny 5 alive.
Yeah. Oscar as he's going there.
Yeah.
Need more input.
I need a hero.
I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's the number 1.
And Highwayman was the actual name of that song.
Highwayman by the Highwaymen.
Yes.
All right.
Rebecca, what's your top 5?
I have 3. I'm still working on the other 2.
Just
Okay.
insert the latest Tom McDonald songs for her.
Oh, I just had Tom McDonald as the whole category.
They said pick 5 songs, not 5 categories.
Semantics. I wear my sunglasses at night.
That's a good one.
Black Horse in a Cherry Tree.
Ooh, KT Tunstall or yeah. Is that it? I think so. That's a good choice. No, I like that. Good choice.
Danger Zone. Yes, I second that. And Handlebars.
Oh, about
Flowbots.
Yeah, I can run my back with no handlebars. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I may or may not have overplayed that song for Dirty Dan, and he no longer likes it.
I get into an instant blinding rage when I hear that song at this point. Hi, Puska.
So, Elliot.
Oh, easy. On Our Own by Bobby Brown from Ghostbusters 2.
That's a good one.
I love that song. It might be my favorite song of all time.
Bobby Brown, really?
Yeah, listen. I'm a Ghostbusters fanatic. Anything Ghostbusters is like my jam, and that song is just that's it for me. I'm gonna go on the traveling theme, and I'm gonna do "Life Is a Highway," but not by Rascal Flatts. I'm gonna go with Tom Cochrane, the original one.
That's a good one.
Much better. I'm gonna go with Jimi Hendrix, "Voodoo Child," just because that's the one. And "Live in Color," "Cold to Personality," just because big CM Punk fan, wrestling fan over here. I know it's an addiction. I'm trying to break it. And then my final song, that was 4, right?
Yes.
That was 4. Okay, my 5th song, and it's probably, the one that makes the most sense for this, and it gets me pumped every time, is "It's All Coming Back to Me Now" by Celine Dion. So, I think that's the one.
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yes, exactly.
That's
It was either that or Every Time We Touch by Cascade.
That was going to be a choice. Yeah. I thought about that one. It just barely missed out on the top 5. Yeah, it's number 6. So.
I mean, you could have tied for 5th.
Yeah, it's possible, but I'm thinking in a time travel scenario, I just don't have time for that 6th song, so I'm going to go with this.
There you go.
Hope for the best.
Auron, you're up.
Okay, so we're gonna start out the adventures with "Edge of 17" by Stevie Nicks. We're gonna follow it out with "Riders on the Storm." Then we're gonna go into some hardcore '80s hair music with "Pour Some Sugar on Me" by Bon Jovi. Followed by "I Think We're Alone Now" by Tiffany, because I think I'd be alone.
That's a good one.
And then we're gonna end it with "Girls Just Want to Have Fun."
There you go.
Nice. That's a good one.
"Pour Some Sugar on Me" was Def Leppard.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah.
That's a very good list. Yeah. Very good list. Gertie, you're up.
Oh, we'll be here all day.
Oh,
no, we won't.
Yeah, we will.
"Interstate Love Song" by Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see.
I'll give you that one.
"Radar Love" by Golden Earring.
Oh, that's a real good one.
Let's see. "Immigrant Song," Led Zeppelin. Thank you, boys.
You're welcome.
That was terrible.
Thank you, Dirty Dan. We appreciate it.
Go with the Flow, Queens of Stone Age.
Yes.
Wow, how many is that?
That's 4.
That's 4. You got one more.
"Night Moves."
Bob Seger.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one.
I thought you were gonna go down AC/DC.
Well, we could do highway.
She
I could do all
switched
kinds
back
of
and
things.
went to Bob Seger. Dirty Dan. I know.
So I did have an AC/DC song wrote down, but then I crossed it out and switched it out with another one.
You probably switched it out with Demi Lovato, but go ahead with your top 5.
I also had Barbie Girl on there, but I crossed that out, which is Aqua. So
Please don't get him started on that fucking song.
what song?
Aqua.
He's wrapped in plastic. He's fantastic.
You can brush my hair, undress me anywhere.
Thanks, Dirty Dan, but I'm married.
So am I.
You can have them.
They cancel each other out.
It's that kind of party.
Yeah, let's kick this idea around a little bit more.
ASMR
All right,
again.
so my final top 5 list I decided on was "Carry On My Wayward Son."
Oh,
by
that's
Kansas.
a good one. Good one.
"Heavy As the Head," Zach Brown Band with Chris Cornell. "Welcome Home," Coheed and Cambria.
Ooh.
"Sidewinder." What?
I'm just glad to find somebody else who listens to Coheed and Cambria. Go ahead. Sorry.
I actually met them and got to hang out with them in Buffalo.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Anyway, "Sidewinder" by Avenged Sevenfold. And I figured the cream of the crop to top it off would be My Dingling with Chuck Berry.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I am shocked. There's no Demi Lovato on there.
No. I
Well,
told you that.
Yeah.
I showed you all
He
that.
is a huge Demi Lovato fan.
Right.
He doesn't need to listen to Demi Lovato because he's got it all right up here.
Right, yeah, right up in his head.
He said sorry, not sorry.
We have 2 emails left. We'll let Rebecca go first, and then Dirty Dan will let you read the last one and close it out from everybody's favorite emailer. Rebecca, this is the one that I sent you this morning from Bobby Ray.
Bobby Ray.
Bobby Ray. Let's see. Bobby
You
Ray.
you want me to read the separate one that you emailed me?
Yes.
Okay.
Bobby Ray, Stevenson Dave.
Hey, Here to Chew Bubblegum. Congratulations on the Pandora deal. Excuse me. I'm an avid listener from the trail and a close friend of mine, Mr. Bolin Cox. It's me. It's Bobby Ray Stevenson Dave. I wanted to write in and wish y'all happy Halloween and let y'all know I still ain't got no taint, but everything is absolutely going fantastic on a regular basis. Never been better. One of my favorite Halloween traditions is playing spooky games, so I'd like to have everyone in the show today play a game. No, it's not Saw, but some of you may be familiar with this titillating game. It's called Fuck, Marry, Kill. For those of you who are unknowledgeable of how this game works, the rules are simple. I'll give you 3 options, and it's up to you to decide which one you would want to fuck, which one you would want to marry, and which one you would want to kill. Those will be fun laughs for the millions and millions listening around the world. Here's your 3 choices. Winifred Winnie Sanderson from Hocus Pocus, Dr. Frank N. Furter from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Beetlegeist from Beetlejuice.
Okay. Dirty Dan, we'll let you go first.
Marry, fuck, kill in that order.
Yes.
Marry, fuck, kill.
Yeah.
That order.
Yeah.
So you would marry Winnie?
Yes. If I had to, it's a game.
Noted.
Who would you marry?
It's
Definitely
still your turn, Dirty Dan.
Why? I said marry, fuck, kill.
Yeah, and then you said one that you would marry. Who would you bang?
No, I was saying the order I was doing it in.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Come on, Goose, get with the program.
So,
Who was number 2?
Dr. Frank N. Furter from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
And I just want to fuck the guy with the name Furter. Frankenfooter.
Oh my God.
Auron?
Becca, who was the last one you said?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlegeist from
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
no.
Beetlejuice.
Okay, so I guess I would probably. I mean, I would have to agree with Dirty Dan. I would marry Winifred because, you know, you'd get all the benefits of being married to one of Satan's whores. And I mean, Frank's the prettiest out of the 3. So, you know, gotta go. I mean, and let's be real. So since there's obviously a bunch of 80s babies in here, I have an unhealthy obsession with Tim Curry because my favorite movie as a kid was the movie Legend, where he plays the devil with those giant horns. So yeah, and then if you're gonna kill any of them, you got to kill Beetlejuice because that shit's creepy and scary.
I know how to pick them.
Yeah,
you do. So
I'm going to go with you guys. I'm going to go the same way with you guys. Rebecca? You're shaking your head.
she's just shaking her head. No.
Yes. Come on.
Come on. It's a
You can do it,
game.
B.
Oh God, I would have to go kill, fuck, marry.
You'd marry Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Noted.
Remember that.
Beagle? Beagle's been looking at the list, thinking this over.
Yeah. I'm going to go same.
Same as Rebecca or same as us?
Same as Rebecca. Yeah. Yeah.
Elliot.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the deal. I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old at home, so I'm going to change that one to kiss.
Okay.
Just because. I'm going to marry Winnie Sanderson because, whatever. And I'm going to kiss Beetlejuice because Michael Keaton, good Lord. And
Kiss is not an option.
it is in my world, Rebecca.
It is not an option. It's Beetlejuice.
It is in my world, Rebecca. I'm not a part of your cult, Rebecca. I can do what I want. I have free will. And then I'm going to kill Frankenfurter because he's just a sweet transvestite, and I don't want him to. I don't want him to ever lose his joy for life. So I'm just going to kill him before he can. There you go.
You're just going to.
That's so sweet. That is so
so
sweet.
merciful. How wonderful.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Charity?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill Winifred Sanderson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I want Dr. Frankenfurter to touch me.
Yeah,
and,
gotcha.
It's the Frankenfurter.
And then I'm going to marry Beetlejuice.
Of course.
Because I love Michael Keaton, so
It is Michael
and
Keaton.
Beetlejuice, so it's fine with
And
me.
maybe one day he'll dress up like Batman.
And maybe he'll
he's
pull a
all-
ring for me
he's-
out of his pocket, and
He's
he'll say,
willing to
"Baby, she
marry.
meant nothing to
We
me.
know that.
Nothing to me." And
He has
And that's what
that was
I
a
hope
nice
for.
ceremony.
it was. He got a guy to come in all of a sudden and marry him, and it was really nice.
Dale.
She had got her a dress like super
Some
fast.
man may want to go home.
He had a tux. It was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Dirty Dan, the last emails from our very good friend of the show, Mr. Bolin Cox.
Good Lord. That guy, I think his job is to write emails for you all. Him and Dixon, I think they have the same office and they just share.
I have tried to employ Mr. Bolin Cox as a writer for the show, and he's not interested in that.
No, I think his services are being used on Talk Junkie and Retro Cult.
Yes.
So.
Dirty Dan, you're up.
Yeah. All right. So, hello, Dirty Dan. I hope everything has been going great. As for us out here on the trail, things have never been better. While we've had our ups and downs as of late, most of us are still breathing and have managed, for the most part, to dodge dysentery. Sally Jean Sue and I were tasked by the clan this past week to go clean out my Uncle Herb's tool shed. Upon doing so, we stumbled upon an old diary of my great-great-mama, Mabel Irene Blanche. I'd like to share one of the stories in it, as I think you and the rest of the gang at Here To Chew Bubblegum will find it most very intriguing. October 31st, 1843. Well, it's been a long day today. I went to take a fresh batch of flitters to Sheriff Johnson, and he was very thankful. I mean, very thankful. I told him to share with his deputies, but I know he won't. Any flitters he has left over, I know will be fed immediately to his horse, Fred. I can't go without writing about the strange lights I saw in the sky on the way home, though. I've seen flickering and a funny-shaped object jucking back and forth in the sky. I didn't think anything about it until I got a feeling in my nether regions. It's like the flashing object was calling to me. And I've only felt this sensation one other time. Back when I was a younger lady, and Willie, a boy who was often schooled with me and the others, rubbed his rifle up against my backside and whispered honey words in my ear. I wonder if there's any connection between the two incidents. Boodle for now. Dirty Dan, I can only imagine that what great Mama Blanche saw that night out on the trail was none other than a real-life UFO. What else could it have been? I'm going to try and read more of her journal. What time I ain't running the mule and hoeing out in the pasture. I will get back to you and the gang on any further discoveries. Tell everyone Bolin said, hey. P.S. Marcia Sue Jane broke into Phyllis's laptop and logged in on the TiK TOK or Twitchy. I can't remember which, and finally saw your savage face and brute-like body. I had to go help Phyllis tie her down in the wagon and rush her to the doctor because she had broken a shovel handle in her, well, let's just say she's okay now, and thank heavens you don't live one town over.
Can I be the first to say I want this man to read a book? I want him to write a book, and I would read it every day.
Oh yeah, very talented.
110%.
Mr. Bolin Cox.
Meditations from the Trail.
Meditation. Oh, that would be a great name for a book. Meditations from the Trail.
Goodness.
Every day is like just a little, little Bolin Cox quote.
Yeah. And
turn it into a calendar.
And Dirty Dan, did you catch on to he was going to feed the horse the flitters, so it wasn't fritters like you thought it was?
I didn't think it was fritters.
So no. And I was trying to explain last week what a flitter cake was. It's kind of like a pancake that they fix back here, correct? That's like
it's just a little cornbread.
Yeah, that's one
flapjack
interpretation.
kind of thing.
So, well, I mean that's where
it's a cornbread pancake, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and I had never heard it years ago, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, asked me one Sunday if I wanted a flitter cake, and I'm like, what? What did you just say? I mean, because I was like 13 or 14 years old. I'd never heard that before.
Grandma just goosed the goose.
So, yes. Yes. But I want to thank everyone for writing in. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. Or how can they email Dirty Dan?
Well, they can certainly email us in. You can use Goose at HereToChewBubblegum.com, Dirty Dan at HereToChewBubblegum.com, Rebecca at HereToChewBubblegum.com. Make sure you title it Cult Queen. And you can also hit the show, Ned or Elliot, at HereToChewBubblegum at Yahoo.com.
Yes, we're going to move straight into segment one. And Dirty Dan, you didn't, I don't know, during the anniversary show if we just overlooked this and you didn't get to address it or if we skipped it, but bring us up to date on the Paintsville UFO versus train update that you have.
All right. So I don't have much yet, but I have stuff from Preston. So we need to figure out a time to get him on the show since we're talking about our schedules. So Preston so far has, he's got a investigation report from the STB and the FRA. I don't know what those stand for, but I know one is strictly train related. And he's got a docket number for the incident.
So there was definitely an incident.
Well, there's a docket number on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that just proves that something happened. We don't know what.
Would you be able to get the docket number before we get this so we can? Do you have the docket number in front of you right now?
No, no.
Okay.
And with life happening, I haven't reached back out to him lately. So, but I'll message him right now and see if he replies.
Yeah, I mean, if we get the docket number, we'll call him live on the show right here and see what we can find out.
We've done it before.
Yes, we have.
I know.
But so hopefully within the next 30 days, we should have a valid update on the Paintsville Train versus UFO incident.
Well, I mean, I can get the number and we can call by next week.
Right. Well, we can do that in future episodes. Right. We can't next week, but yes, definitely. But we should within the next 30 days have an update on the Paintsville Train versus UFO incident. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Moving right along on the conspiracy theory angle. Has anyone ever heard of Operation Snow White?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Scientology.
Yes, you are correct. What did you know about Operation Snow White?
If I remember correctly, which it's been a long time ago, but Scientology, they were upset because of issues dealing with taxation. So instead of, going about it the legal way, they put people into positions and infiltrated the government, basically, and tried to get everything expunged that way. If I might not be getting it exactly
you
right,
are correct. Operation Snow White was a criminal conspiracy by the Church of Scientology during the 1970s to purge unfavorable records in Scientology and its founder, L. Ron Hubbard. The project included a series of infiltrations into thefts from 136 government agencies, foreign embassies, and consulates, as well as private organizations critical to Scientology. These were carried out by church members in more than 30 countries, and it was one of the largest infiltrations of the United States government in history, with up to 5,000 covert agents. This operation also exposed the Scientology plot, Operation Freakout, because Operation Snow White was the case that initiated the U.S. government's investigation of the church. So if anybody's listening to the show today, if the audio drops, don't be alarmed. That is just the Church of Scientology stopping us. Auron.
Well, now, hey, to ensure that doesn't happen, we'll say that they went from a puzzling journey from tax rebel to tax exempt. Now we're safe in their eyes.
Well, no, actually, some of their members spent some time for this and had to pay fines and so forth.
How about we just say...
they went to jail.
How about we just say allegedly?
Allegedly.
There we go. Allegedly. Allegedly, that works. Auron, have you studied Scientology a lot, or... Scientology. Scientology.
It's like when Ship says renegade. It's fine. I'm used
Scientology.
To it. So I've come across Scientology a couple of different times, and you want to talk about a fucking cult? These people are off their fucking rocker.
Wait, Auron, not to interrupt you. Fairy Magic Princess just commented, LOL, my audio did drop right now.
So it's because they're always listening, guys.
Allegedly.
And I just want to say that Fairy Magic Princess
they're always allegedly listening. So science, I mean, when it comes to the covert power of large religious structures, it's, I think the major religions of the world are just as powerful and just as manipulative as any of the alphabet mafias and the governments. Scientology, a lot of people don't realize, like, Ron Hubbard, the guy who founded that religion, is the most prolific science fiction writer in human history. He wrote more science fiction books in like his very short life than any other. And we're talking by hundreds and hundreds. This guy had a very powerful and advanced and multidimensional imagination. And the things. I mean, has anybody seen the documentary Going Clear? These people. Yeah, so it's called Going Clear, and it's Leah Remini. She's an actress. Remini. She was the wife. What?
Leah Remini, from she was on King of Queens.
King of Queens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. King of Queens. Yeah. There you go. Because her whole family was a part of that church, and I don't think it, like you said, Goose. I don't think it's a conspiracy. Like, a bunch of people went to jail for it, and at the end of the day, they all believe that their souls were held in crystals deep in space, and they were incarnated on Earth to save the planet. And they beat the fuck out of people who try to leave the church in like a crazy, insane Stockholm kind of way. So, yeah, I stay the fuck away from those people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I 100% stay the fuck away from those people.
This article goes on to say, some people got caught and sentenced to prison time and had to pay fines. And this included L. Ron Hubbard's wife, Mary Sue Hubbard. And in 2009, a spokesman for the church, Tommy Davis, said that the jailed members of the Guardian's office, which was created by L. Ron Hubbard to carry out this mission and infiltrate the government and so forth. These people that did this, after they got out of jail, they were declared suppressive people by the church and had to undergo rehab in order to resume their upper level training in the church.
It reeks to me like anybody who understands the Catholic faith and the organizations of the Vatican. It's just like the Jesuits. Like they have an entire branch of the Catholic Church specifically designed to go and infiltrate entire cultures, societies, and groups, and either convert them or kill them for being, heretics.
Right.
And that sounds it's like everything that the people did with the government from the Church of Scientology. It was like their little, the guardians. That's the Jesuits of Scientology.
Beagle, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna allow all of this because I'm actually like a Manchurian candidate type thing.
Uh-huh.
You all say Ron Hubbard.
Ron Hubbard. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, Beagle is our. He is
I am
Operation
actually-
Snow White. He is part of it.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes.
I'm actually a double agent.
Okay.
I infiltrated Scientology.
So,
And then they had me infiltrate you all.
oh,
yeah,
okay.
so that's how it
Okay.
works.
So
I don't
they
know what
actually
you're doing
knew in advance we were going to be talking about them on the show
Yeah.
today.
They said we need a Bigfoot-like creature to infiltrate local podcasts in Eastern Kentucky, and they went.
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, he's not sure what he is.
What about you, Gertie? What's your thoughts on this?
Oh, I think they're allegedly very evil.
But you really can't find a lot of information out about them.
I just think it's really sad. Just reading stuff about L. Ron Hubbard and especially Shelley Miscavige.
Yeah.
Miscavige,
Whatever you want to say. Yeah,
David's wife.
yeah. The leader of Scientology, his wife, has disappeared now. For
Allegedly disappeared.
allegedly, you can't find her or speak to her or contact her. I think it's been almost 10 years or around 10 years or more than 10 years.
I mean, each
It's
their,
whenever Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise got married, she was not at their wedding, and people started asking questions. And then those
each-
people were labeled suppressive
yeah,
people for asking questions about where her
I-
whereabouts were.
I just say to each their own, man. If Scientology gets you through your life, good for you. Go for it. I mean,
Well, that's fine in that insulated sphere, but then when you
I
start,
personally like my cults on TikTok, and Rebecca does a great job with what she's doing. So that's what I feel.
She just took a bow.
Thank you.
She put the crown on.
Yeah, put
There you
the
go.
crown back on.
There you go.
Dirty Dan,
One
what's
of
your
these days,
thoughts?
we're going to have a documentary called Going Clear Again, and it's just Dirty Dan saying, like, I can't believe I believed all that stuff for the longest time.
What's your thoughts, Dirty Dan?
Allegedly, just allegedly. I think I'm curious about Scientology. I have been for a very long time, but as curious as I am, I still can't help but think it's a joke. And everything surrounding them and the people. And like when Tom Cruise came out about all this shit, I lost a lot of respect for him. Just because of his, I don't want to say demeanor, but his demeanor.
His demeanor.
Like,
I don't want to say his demeanor, but his demeanor.
Yeah, like it was
Makes
really
perfect
disappointing
sense, bro.
to just see, because you could clearly see he was sucked into it and just like gone.
Brainwashed.
Yeah.
Well, we just had someone comment. It's Heather RVT. Katie Holmes. She's from where I live. Have you ever met Katie Holmes? If so, what was your experience, Heather? Rebecca, what's your thoughts on Scientology?
On Scientology?
On Scientology.
I do. I think the whole thing is just a fucking distraction and a joke and just another reason for them to fucking manipulate and control shit and hide shit.
Okay. I know that I sent the format out late, but do you have a story for us in this segment or anything that you want to talk about?
It was probably a bad week to suddenly include me on having my own segment because I was driving all day.
Yes.
I have a story I can fill in for her. If you
Okay.
want.
Yes,
Pretty
please
sure you
do.
had. Yeah.
Please do, Dirty Dan.
Okay. I heard like 9 people at once, and I couldn't hear anything but a distinctive like, and then it all went quiet.
That's exactly what we said.
All right. So this is titled NASA's Ancient Asteroid Inspecting Spacecraft Lucy has glitched. NASA recently launched a spacecraft that is scheduled to inspect ancient asteroids located near the largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter. NASA's Lucy spacecraft took off on Saturday, October 16th, allegedly, aboard the United Launch Alliance rocket, Atlas V rocket. And while the launch was deemed an overall success, the space agency has announced the spacecraft has experienced a slight problem with one of its solar panels. The 2 solar panels Lucy is equipped with are crucial components of the spacecraft's very ambitious mission to visit the ancient Trojan asteroids that they gave the spacecraft power. According to the NASA's announcement, the Associate Administrator for Science, who wrote on Twitter, Lucy is safe and stable. However, 2 solar arrays have deployed, but one may not be fully latched. Adding, the team is analyzing data to just determine its next steps. The team has overcome many challenges already, and they are confident that they will prevail here as well. NASA gave its own statement on the matter, saying Lucy's 2 solar arrays have deployed. Both are producing power, and the battery is charging. However, one of them is just not really attached. Indications are that the second array is not fully latched or secured. The space agency continued, in the current spacecraft altitude, Lucy can continue to operate with no threat to its health and safety. The team is analyzing the spacecraft's data to understand the situation and determine the next steps to achieve full deployment of the solar array. I just
NASA's
wanted to
run
break
by
off.
Nazis.
Did you say NASA's run by Nazis?
Yep.
Well, you know, we do have
Allegedly.
a very
Rambo.
large.
Allegedly. No. It's a fact. NASA was founded and run by Warner von Braun, who is one of the most awful
Operation
Paperclip.
Paperclip.
But allegedly, Operation Paperclip. Let's just, I'm just trying to keep it safe.
You know,
No,
and
Operation Paperclip was declassified.
Right.
Yes. Like,
Allegedly declassified. Yes, we get it.
Yeah. It takes away the allegedly.
No. Allegedly, it was allegedly declassified.
Okay.
you know,
It was
and,
allegedly. Gotcha.
we mentioned it on last week's show,
Allegedly.
or week before last show. Our second biggest audience of listeners is in Germany.
Is
in Germany. Seriously,
Really?
I mean, yes, for real, it is in Germany. That is like because it's the U.S. We have most of our listeners. Then it's Germany, and then the UK was third. Canada was number 5. So, but yes,
What's that all about?
I don't know. And number 4 was Australia, I think. But yeah, we have a very large following in Germany. But
I mean, can you blame them?
But Nazis are bad. So Nazis are bad. And for those of you, I asked Heather a little bit earlier.
Jokes are good.
Have she met Katie Holmes? She said no, but people that she knew her. She went to private Catholic girls' school. Some tell me she was super nice, and others told me she was just a stuck up snob. I guess it just depends on your perspective. Thank you very much, Heather, for commenting that back. Again, we are live on Twitch, and you're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum episode number 52. This is Spooky Family. We're going to step away and take a short break. And in segment 2, the Spooky Family, we're going to talk about whatever they want to talk about.
From the heart of Appalachia, located under a shopping mall near the city that moves mountains, you're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Goose and Dirty Dan.
Are you a horror movie fan? Yeah, I dig horror movies. Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to? Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy. Then you need to tune into deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Dead Pit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
Goose and Dirty Dan. Give the guys a break. They're not that bright.
Hey, Goose.
Yes.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear about NASA's new invisible lasers that are expected to enhance space communication?
Is this real, or are you just making this
No,
up?
this is 100% real.
No, I've not heard about it. What? NASA has invisible lasers that are going to improve space communication.
And of all places, they sent them to Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they sent them there because of the Kennedy Space Center, correct? Would that be why they sent them there?
Allegedly.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Well, if they're invisible, how do we know that the company that's made this for our country is not just got something and be like, here you go, this is going to improve, and it doesn't absolutely do anything. Yeah.
That is why I brought that up and asked you, because just the title alone in their press release just says, our new invisible lasers are designed to enhance space communication.
But there's not going to be any way to tell. I mean,
exactly.
I wish I thought of that idea and told NASA that I could have created.
It's a very Emperor's New Clothes kind of situation.
Definitely. That's just, I don't know. I mean, hey, they paid $50,000 for a hammer, so
Oh no, they paid $1.8 billion for this.
$8 million?
Guess I'm getting into the invisible laser business.
Billion. They paid $1.8 billion for an invisible laser.
Yeah. I definitely think I'm going to get in the invisible laser business as well.
I mean, we got kids going.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
We got kids going hungry, and we're sending William Shatner to space and making invisible space lasers. I mean, come on.
Hey, to be fair, William Shatner just touched the very edge of space. He didn't go to space.
He was
the dick rocket can't get that high.
Well, hey.
Because there's a dome stopping them.
I love the audio from that. That's my favorite thing in the world.
What's that? From
William Shatner's audio from when they became weightless.
No.
Have you heard it?
No.
He's like, oh my God. You have to listen to it. It's wonderful.
William Shatner makes a porno.
It's dead on. I would think.
I would have to check
no personal experience, but I believe it would be dead on.
Just and Auron, give me your opinion on this. Just for the fact that he's 90 years old and actually could physically do that, I just think that that's fascinating.
Allegedly,
and he could physically do what?
Go into space.
Handle the G.
Allegedly.
I feel like money was
I'm at the point where I don't believe anything anymore when it comes to that shit. Like the whole I watched the Jeff Bezos cock rocket launch.
Yeah.
And it's like, honestly, and same thing when Elon Musk did the launches with the rockets that like went up and then came back and landed. It looked like bad CGI from when I was in college. Like I think it's all a dog and pony show. I don't. The idea of all of the physics and all of the common knowledge associated with rocket launches and going into space, like it doesn't make sense with basic physics. And the fact that most people can't even figure out that it doesn't make sense with basic physics frustrates the fuck out of me.
But Elon actually written the formula for his heavy launch booster to show how it can go as high as it can, as fast as it can, because someone asked him a physics question.
Yeah, but again, I mean, so when it comes to that stuff, like I can't verify, like I'm not smart enough to verify math like that, but it's just a common understanding. Like we all have a basic understanding of how physics works because we exist in this reality and we know how things move and how not gravity, because gravity is just a fucking theory, but the idea that the prime example, when they talk about getting to space, like we would not need rockets to get to space, like helicopters and airplanes. Like if we live on a floating rock and you launch a plane at a particular angle and you don't, like my dad's a small wing pilot. My grandfather was a pilot. Like if you take off and your plane is going in a straight direction and we're on a fucking globe, you wouldn't need a rocket to get off the planet.
But you do, and here's the reason why: it's air density, sir. Air density.
Yeah, and allegedly, the higher up you go, the air gets less dense, which means you would need less resistance to get away from the planet.
You would need more propulsion because it is not as thick. It can't bite as much to keep sending it on that trajectory.
No. A plane goes into the sky because of lift.
Right.
If a plane stays in a straight line and we're on a curved ball that's moving, all you would have to do was point the plane up and keep going. And the higher you go, the pressure from the air gets less because there's less air up there, which means the plane would start to move faster.
False.
No, not false.
False.
Not false. How
you said it yourself,
false?
It needs lift. And when the air density is less, it can't be as thick. There's not as much support. So when the pressure coming from above pushes down, you can only go so high. That's your ceiling. And with the air less dense, with the air less dense, your propulsion.
They don't get this.
Gosh,
they don't think they have some
it's just like the whole moon landing bullshit, right? These dudes are moving super fucking slow, but the moon has 1/8 the gravity of the Earth, which means they would be 80% stronger and faster on the fucking moon. They wouldn't be going slow. It would be like a John Carter of on Mars situation. They'd be so much faster and they'd be jumping so much higher because there's so much less gravity and they grew up on a planet that was stronger.
Now that I agree with, but you're wrong about the aircraft.
Okay.
Now, Gertie's just handed me her phone. Here's an audio clip of William Shatner.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus. No description can equal this. Wait.
This is nuts! This is
Yeah, they just filled the air, the cabin with opium. It's
holy hell.
It's actually a clip from my new movie, One Night in Beagle.
So, guys, who would win, Dracula or Darth Vader? Let's go there.
Oh,
Darth Maul.
Oh,
but see, Darth Maul wasn't a choice, man.
I know.
There's always a
reality and substitute my own.
Yes, and this segment too is a spooky family choice of topics, not Dirty Dan choice of topics.
I answered their question. It was their choice. I answered.
So Darth Vader.
I vote Dracula.
It's not really our topic, but that was our whole deal.
I'm going to go Darth Vader.
A lot of people
Why?
have. Yeah.
Why? Because, I mean, you can kill a vampire by chopping its head off. That's one of the ways you can kill it. And he has his lightsaber.
You can chop Darth Vader's head off too and kill him.
Yeah, but a vampire is going to be, or Dracula especially.
This is Gary Oldman.
So
you got yes, he's the best Dracula.
Yeah,
no, Goose, you got to realize Dracula can move at super
speed of light,
speed, right? So even though Darth Vader could totally chop his head off with his lightsaber, I think not only that, he can mesmerize anybody. Like all he has to do is give him that look, and Darth Vader's gonna take off his clothes and let him bite his neck.
And then we're gonna see how Luke was really made.
It's a really fun thing that we've been doing.
I think his genitals are on the bank in Mustafar.
Yeah. We've been doing.
I don't think that's still
We've been
possible.
doing a little tournament on our podcast, and it's down to Darth Vader versus Dracula. And one of the arguments is that Dracula wouldn't even be able to be seen by Darth Vader because Vader has to use electronics to see Dracula, and Dracula doesn't show up.
Okay, so that's an interesting point because I literally just had this conversation on my live last night. We were talking about vampires and reflection. The reason that vampires don't the legend says that they don't reflect in mirrors is because in the old days all the mirrors were made with mercury or silver, which are metals with mystical properties that reflect life and energy, right? And vampires don't have energy because they're dead. But Darth Vader sees with electronics, and the electronics would still register his dead body.
See, that's a good argument too.
And also, too, you're going to see the clothes, even if this was
Right. Darth Vader would, even if he didn't see the body because it was dead and didn't show up, he would definitely see the clothes.
Okay, so what happens if Dracula got naked then and just had a free for all?
Like I said, we'd figure out how Luke was made.
We call Frankenfurter as a party.
Frankenfurter?
On the opposite end, mind tricks from Darth Vader. You also have a little bit of the, what?
Jedi
Stay
mind
right
trick.
there.
Yeah, don't move.
Allegedly.
Well, but all right, let me
I
ask
say
you.
allegedly from everything anymore because
Okay, let me throw something else
It's
at
the
you.
implication.
If Dracula allegedly bit Darth Vader,
yes,
how would that change Darth Vader? Because his suit helps him live forever anyway.
right.
Oh, he'd be a sexy spaceman then.
But now Dracula has access to the midichlorians that are in Darth Vader's blood because we're nerds and we know about that. And that would make him super strong, and then it's even worse. So I don't know, guys. It's a big one, and we have a poll going on right now. I'll give it to Goose to put on the thing. But we ask all of the Here to Chew Bubblegum listeners to take that poll too. It closes tonight at midnight, so get that in as quick as you can.
Definitely.
So I just had a thought because you brought up the whole midichlorian thing. So everybody has midichlorians in them, right? And then the people who are Jedi and Sith, they just have much larger concentrations of them. So what if midichlorians are actually what vampires are drinking live blood for? Like they need the midichlorians to survive, and therefore when he bites Darth Vader, he would become super Dracula.
And now I need Disney to listen to this and get us all together and make this happen. This is what we need.
It should be a new Netflix series. We don't need 3 seasons. It'll be great.
We don't need the Sharknado movies. We don't need Alien vs. Predator. We need Dracula vs. Vader.
Yes.
Yep.
Dracula in space.
Okay.
Dracula is the father of all vampires, and Vader means father in German.
There you go.
Bladella just commented, and she said, but how would that even work? Darth Vader was pretty much just a machine.
Bladella.
He was a machine. It was a machine keeping the last parts of his body alive.
Yes.
He has a torso and a head.
We keep saying the machine, and all I can think of is Bert Kreischer right now.
Oh my God, the machine! That is one of the greatest stand-up skits of all fucking time.
I was 22 years old and this is how I joined the Russian mafia.
Okay. I have another question.
Allegedly.
Who would win, Dracula versus a Pepsi vending machine?
Whitney Houston.
I hate you. Whitney's dead. You bite your tongue.
Well, that's because she stood stuck with her sponsor instead of going to Coke.
Oh, ouch. Too soon.
So are you allegedly saying that Pepsi assassinated Whitney Houston? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yes.
You know, Michael Jackson was also a Pepsi person for a while there. I think
Michael Jackson's alive.
Well, yeah, Michael Jackson went to vanilla Coke.
And then he had to get another clone.
What have you all saw the video footage of Michael Jackson? It looks like Michael Jackson jumping out of the back of the coroner's van.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Well, first, what's your all's thoughts on that?
No, he's dead.
Hey, Gertie?
I've not seen that video, but that sounds, it's plausible. People have enough money.
It does look like him.
Yes. But you think he's dead?
Yeah, I don't, listen, there are all kinds of theories out there about all of these famous people faking their death. Number one, they're famous because they like fame. They're not going to give that up.
But you have to look. Michael Jackson was pretty. He wasn't broke by our standards. He was broke by his standards.
Right. So
he had some pending legal investigations that were going to throw him back in the spot.
Where in the world is
Michael Jackson was not broke by any means.
No.
That shit happened. He bought out Sony.
Yes. I'm saying he was broke by his standards.
He owned the rights to the Beatles' music and some of Eminem's music too.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer when it comes to if you look throughout, like my dad was a musician, like the music history, people who end up owning their own rights all end up getting killed. Jimi
Michael
Hendrix,
Jackson,
Janis Joplin, like there's the level of evil, like satanic control in the music and Hollywood industry. They won't allow you to have power over your own, because it gives you the ability to not only create your own wealth, but it gives you the ability to say whatever you want because you're not under their contracts, and then you can talk about shit. There's a couple of clips, right? But when Michael was filming that documentary that he died filming, he explains about how he's like, I just bought out Sony. He's like, I have to give him a couple more things, and I own all the rights to everything. He goes, and then I'm going to tell everything that happened.
He owned the rights to
died 2 weeks later.
253 other artists, and not including his own. So 254 total is what he owned.
Yeah. And there's a song off his double album. I think it's called History. The song is called "They Don't Care About Us."
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's a great video too. Lots of symbolism in it.
Yeah, and here's my thing though. Like, yeah, I mean, we hear this all the time about Tupac. We hear it about Elvis,
Biggie.
We hear, you don't really hear it as much about Biggie, but I have heard rumors, and all that stuff. But where do they hide? Like, there's no place on earth that Michael Jackson could hide forever.
Antarctica.
I disagree with that. Like, let's look at the reality of you. How many people have you ever seen that look or pictures or memes that come up and like so and so is a lookalike? You know what I mean? Like I've seen. So I went to school for photography, and there was this really famous photography gallery exhibit that happened where this photographer traveled all over the world and he photographed complete strangers that were 100% identical. Like when you looked at these pictures, these people looked like identical twins, but then they had all of their information, and most of the people were from completely different parts of the world. So it's not potentially impossible that you could fake your own death and then just pretend like, oh, I get that a lot. People say I look like so-and-so.
So yeah,
you know what I mean? And with that kind of money, you could alter your appearance very easily.
I got to say, this is a hell of a commercial break.
Oh, dude. I have already said commercial break like 25 minutes ago, so I can edit that. That's no problem.
Oh, so, well, I mean, like,
we don't break up a good flow.
Here's my thing about that. And you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, there's thousands probably Michael Jackson impersonators. I get that. Mm-hmm. And I totally understand that. But I also think that, I don't know, I just see it differently. Like, he was a parent. He's one of the most famous people in the world. You're right. He had enough money to get surgery, and he had done that multiple times. I just don't know. I just don't think. To me, that seems the most or the least credible of any of those theories. Is that Michael Jackson is faked his death? I could see it on Elvis. Maybe I could see it on. As bad as I hate it, I could see it probably on Tupac too, but not Michael Jackson. I just don't think that would be possible. I could be wrong. I've been wrong about many things in my life. I've been wrong about
why. So let's just elaborate on that. Why do you think it would be possible for all those other people and not for him? Have you seen the stuff with Aaliyah? Like, there's some new artist out right now. I can't remember her name for the life of me, but I grew up listening and watching Aaliyah, and like, this girl looks 100% like her, and she's a famous musician.
Right.
And like, nobody's questioning that shit. So like,
then there's the whole Juice world.
Auron,
go ahead, Dan.
She's from the Bahamas, where Aaliyah allegedly was killed in the crash.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, I don't think any, like, I fell down the whole dark side of Hollywood and music a long time ago. I think that the people that died in our lifetime, like, and maybe Elvis and other big musicians, but I think it comes down to the ones that actually died are the ones that had the rights to their own music. So like, maybe Michael is dead, but the other ones, I think it's a control mechanism. They want to speak out about, like with Tupac, for example, they talk about how he got to a certain point, and once you reach that level of fame, the fucking dark lords come in and try to get you into all of that satanic shit. And he tried to step away from it. And it's like, they either take you out or they take you out of the limelight because you're not going to, you're trying to speak out against what they want. And so they'll make it look like you died and then put you, and check you so you can't do what you wanted to do.
I just want to get jiggy with it.
Have you ever watched the Dave Chappelle episode where he talks about the pimp?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. I just think, I guess it's in my head. It's not. I mean, I don't necessarily have any like full proof of Jackson not wanting to die, but I just don't see him as the type of artist that would walk away from everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
if he was trying to expose all of the evil though, like, so that's my big thing is like with Michael, he built that Wonderland place, right? Like he was all about helping the children. And
Auron, don't forget how good of a friend he was to Princess Diana.
Right, exactly. And she was doing the same thing, right? And she was up against the evil reptiles in the House of Windsor. The way I see it is Michael, he wasn't somebody who wouldn't fake his death because he didn't want to give up the fame. I think he would fake his death because he wanted to keep doing the work and doing what he could to help expose all of the fucking evil shit.
And here's the other thing. I'm not saying any of what you're saying is wrong. Just trust me on that. Like I'm not.
Of course.
I'm not here to like
allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. I'm not here to argue any of that points. But what I am here to say is that every time a beloved, musician or superstar dies, this pops up. Like the whole Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
More power to it. It's whatever gets you through. If you think that that's what's going on, then more power to it. I don't see it. And one of the reasons I don't see it is for something you said. And I'm just going to call you Timmy. It's not because I just can't. I forgot what we're calling Auron. Yes. Okay. So it's for something Timmy. You said. He wanted to fake his death so he could continue the work. Okay. Then why hasn't anything happened? You know what I mean? Like there's only so much. There's only so much if you are that powerful and you're that powerful enough to fake your death and get it. We're still fighting that fight against those evil forces. Why is it every time somebody dies?
I totally see that perspective. I'm one of those crazy off the hinge conspiracy theorist people. I think the white hats have already won. That's why I wear my white hat. I think that we're we're in the throes of decompression. I think all of those evil forces have been neutralized, and right now the white hats are just trying to reach a place where they can release all that information, because it's like you can't just come out and like say all your famous people and all of your politicians are child eating Satanists.
Can I just talk about one thing related to that?
Hey, Dirty Dan, just hold on to that thought. We're going to take a break. We're going to take like a 5-minute break and we'll come back.
It's not going to be as funny.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. But you're listening to...
Oh, my God. Just go really quick. Hurry up.
Just imagine how hard it is to be Biden's sign language interpreter.
I love you.
We are going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Take a lighter look into the darker side of the world. Join Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle as they jump into the dark abyss of hauntings, fables, UFOs, and beyond. The Spooky Family Podcast. You can find them where you listen to quality podcasts.
Hello everyone, this is Elliot Spooky, and it's time for another guest ghost story as we celebrate Halloween all month long on Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Well, today is Halloween, and we've saved the best guest for last. Our next guest ghost story teller needs no introduction. I'm simply going to say greetings.
We come in peace.
Where the hell have you been, man?
I've been on the road, man. I've been everywhere.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Here To Chew Bubblegum headquarters, located under a shopping center.
I'm digging the you like the studio. Well, it's pretty cool.
Thank you very much. You are welcome here anytime.
All right.
You Large Marge, Snowman, you're all welcome here.
Oh, they would love that.
So all you have to do is, hell, I'll even give you a key. So
well, man, I don't need to do that. How have you been doing?
I am doing good. Like I said, we are doing things a little bit differently this October. Last October, we were just getting started, but we've been doing guest ghost stories. And I thought that you are the man that has a lot of ghost stories.
Well,
and trucker stories. Before you get started with anything, how are things at Paranormal Trucker going?
Paranormal Trucker is slowly but surely getting there. It's hard to kind of get the groove going. I mean,
right.
The traction, I guess, is what I would try to say is getting the followers, I guess. But I mean, everything's going great. We're having a great time over there. The Snowman, Large Marge, I mean, they're funny, but I don't think they try to be funny.
they crack me up.
Yeah,
when they came into to our old studio.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that Snowman said was gimps and retards. And that was actually on one of the radio shows.
Yeah, it's not great. Actually, there was a slip up the other day on the Paranormal Trucker, and we got an email.
Yeah, over the R word again.
Yeah. But here's the thing: different times. They grew up in a different time.
Right.
He is my dad, so he's obviously a few years older.
Right.
I mean, not quite as old as you, but I mean, but he, different times, things happen. It's not that it's an excuse, but it's hard. Old habits die hard.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it was a different time where, those words weren't necessarily as offensive then.
Right.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure they've always been offensive, but they were used more frequently, I suppose.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I totally understand that. Before we get started with the ghost story, your merchandise.
Yes.
Your hats. Where did you come up with that design?
Well, a good friend of mine, maybe you've all heard of him, Elliot.
Yes.
From the Spooky Family.
Yes.
He actually sent me a few designs and said, "Hey, would you like me to design something? And here's a couple of things I've been throwing around." And I found that one, and I was like, "That's it right there. There's nothing else to do."
Now, I'm not much on trucker hats, but when you do start selling those, and you'll probably be selling those by the time this airs.
Yeah.
Definitely post. When you post your show, as soon as you start selling them, in your link description on your YouTube page, post where we can buy that stuff at.
Okay. Definitely.
Because, like I said, I've never been a fan of the trucker hat. I've always liked the full hats.
Yeah.
But I definitely want one of those.
It's
actually two, because they come in blue and black. So I'm actually going to get two of them.
Well, and this first batch that we got is very limited. So I just wanted to get them to see how they would do.
Right.
And then we're probably going to get a few more of those, and then maybe a different design as well. And they come in different colors. So, I mean, I'll probably do black, red, and blue or something like that. But also, we'll be doing some T-shirts. And I've got a keychain coming your way as soon as they get here.
Well, thank you very much. I can give you some paper. That's about all the merch we've got so far.
You gave me the greatest gift of all. I got started in podcasting.
Well, thank you very much. That really means a lot to me.
Yeah, there you go.
So it is October. Today is Halloween.
It is. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you, sir.
My favorite time of year.
What was your favorite costume growing up when you were little that you loved and adored?
It was a homemade costume my dad made for me. It was I went as a zombie, and so he did my makeup and everything like that, and then he made a prosthetic eye that was hanging out of my face.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. It freaked a lot of people out.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But it was so cool.
We actually discussed this on the podcast show a few weeks ago, and mine was also homemade, but it was like a cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
Because I had like a real gun belt.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You know, I had a toy gun in it,
yeah.
But the gun belt was just awesome. You know, it had the strap that you tied the holster on your leg, and
oh, that's pretty cool.
I love that.
You know, the best costumes are homemade. You can go to the store and buy whatever you want, SpongeBob or whatever, but the best ones are the one that you actually take the time, and because Dad let me help paint the eyeball, so it was pretty cool.
And that's something you always remember.
Yeah, definitely.
What is the worst candy that you ever got?
Candy corn.
Halloween? You don't like candy corn?
No.
Really?
No. Just the thought makes me want to gag.
You ate like dog food and pickle candy.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Candy corn is way worse.
All right. Candy corn or a dog biscuit? Which would you rather eat?
If it's the square dog biscuits, I'll take the square dog biscuits. Those taste like saltines.
You just don't like candy corn.
No. Oh my gosh. And you know what's weird is like those what are those little peanut things? Those candied peanut orange things.
Oh yeah. I can't think of what you're talking about, but I like the soft peanuts.
Yeah.
They're like taffy peanuts or something like that.
I can't remember what they're called, but I mean, I would rather have those, and those aren't much different than a candy corn, but I would much rather have those than candy corn.
Now, my great grandmother Polly used to love those.
They're not bad.
The orange peanuts. Mm-hmm. Probably some of the. What was the best candy you ever got when you were little?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, I don't know, like the typical, probably Snickers bar, but I mean, I really like the caramel apples are pretty good.
Snickers.
Too.
Oh, I see the caramel. I was going to say that my great aunt used to make some really good popcorn balls.
Yes, popcorn bars. I forgot about those.
You know, I always loved those.
Those are really good.
It's actually got me wanting a popcorn ball right now.
Well, it's Halloween. It's the perfect time to get one.
Oh yes, yes it is. So tell us some more ghost stories or stories from your old house that you grew up in.
Okay, so now I've told this story before, but still to even just to think about it, it brings the hair up on my skin. I mean, and goose flesh. It's creepy. It's terrible. But so when I was younger, I was a teenager. Well, probably late teens, because my brother was old enough to drive. So I was probably 19, maybe.
Okay.
So I'm laying in bed late at night, probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I wake up. It's frigid. I mean, ice cold. Like I can see my breath cold. And I hear like a noise out in the hallway, and I thought it was my brother coming home because his bedroom was right across the hallway. But this noise was, I don't even know how to explain it. The best way I can describe it is like, you remember those monkeys that had the brass cymbals?
Oh yeah, and yeah.
That's the noise that I heard. It's so weird. So I was like, well, that's kind of strange. It's probably my brother coming home. Well, I didn't think anything of it. I was trying to go back to sleep. All of a sudden, I'm flipped head over heels. My head is where my feet were. My feet are on my pillow, and I'm laying on my left side of my head. I'm looking out into my bedroom, and I was pinned there, like I couldn't move. I couldn't.
So
get up.
Something actually physically flipped you over and moved you.
Yeah, and it freaked me out, obviously, but still at this time, I'm still thinking, oh, it's a dream. Just a dream. Just wake up, scream, do something. And I started trying to scream, trying to yell out, and it came out as like a. I couldn't make a noise. It was just like a moan, but I was screaming at the top of my lungs in my head. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm looking out into this room, and I start seeing like a strobe light, but you couldn't see the light source.
Right.
It was just like maybe lightning or something. And then stuff starts kind of spinning around the room. It looks, like stuff is going around the room. And then like you can kind of see figures in between the strobe light patterns. And you kind of hear like whispering. And everything is like a tornado. And it's so, I'm terrified at this point. So all of a sudden it just stops. And I'm like, well, that's a weird dream. So I got back and didn't think about that. I have to crawl back to the pillow now. That was a weird dream. A few minutes later, there goes the sound again. And I felt something depress the bed at my feet, like something sit down on the bed. So I raised up real quick, thinking the dog was in my bedroom. And when I came face to face, this thing was, so it was perched on the edge of the bed. So it was probably, it was eye level with me whenever I sit up in the bed. So maybe 4 feet, something like that tall.
Right.
It looked like it had brown fur, glowing eyes, snarling teeth, and wings. And I'm looking at this thing dead in the eyes. Immediately, relief. You're looking at this thing in the eyes, relief. Immediately relieved. And I went back to sleep.
Why did you feel relief for? Did you think it was going to help you?
So the thing was, I didn't know what a gargoyle was at the time.
Right.
So I started looking it up, and what I had saw was a gargoyle. And it was sitting on the edge of my bed. Well, do you know what a gargoyle is?
Yes, it wards off evil and keeps evil away.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of is that, I was potentially going to be possessed or something. I don't know. I mean, it's a very weird. I still don't fully understand what happened, but I mean, you can see the hair on my arms are standing straight up. I mean, I cannot forget that as long as I live.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, so at first you thought it was a dream.
Yeah.
But you realized when you heard the monkey symbols again, it was not a dream.
It was, it was definitely not a dream. And it was one of those situations like, okay, something's here. And I don't fully understand what's going on. But when I felt the bed depressed, like something sit down, I mean, I wigged out. I thought it was the dog. So that's why I jumped up. And then I saw this thing, and it should have freaked me out to the point where I peed on myself, but I didn't.
Right.
It was just like an instant relief. So, I mean, that's strange, but I mean, there has to be something to that, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, it has to be something to the gargoyles.
Do you actually remember what the gargoyle may have? I mean, did you see? So you saw like a gargoyle.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to research just gargoyle images to see if you could find the one that you saw?
I've not.
Okay.
I'm too afraid.
Really?
Yeah. I'm too afraid because I don't want to. I'm talking about it, so I'm kind of putting it out there in the universe.
Well, yeah, but it actually protected you though.
It did.
So
it did. Yeah, I did. No, I've not looked at. See, all right. So the only gargoyles that I have ever seen are on are statues,
right?
And they're gray stone, but this one had like brown fur. So I don't know. I don't know if gargoyles were brown or are brown. Or
some of them are. I think. I mean, sure they can be whatever color a building is, I guess. Wow.
I want a Dalmatian colored gargoyle.
You're just weird, man.
But no, I mean that was, and that wasn't the only thing that happened that was weird in that area or in that same time frame. This happened. This next story I'm going to tell happened the next day or the day after. But I was on my way to work. It was about 6:15, 6:30 in the morning, and I was. No, okay. Oh, let me go back.
Okay.
All right. So the next night, I'm laying in bed asleep and get startled awake by something. Can't remember the noise. When I raised up, I couldn't see anything. All I could see was a yellow eyeball, bloodshot yellow eyeball in my whole vision. That's all I could see.
Just one eye.
Just one eye. Just like staring. I have no idea what that was.
Well, I don't know why, but I'm getting freaked out a little bit just by that, because he either had hepatitis or something where he
jaundice.
Had yellow eyes.
Jaundice,
yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
But all right, so like the next day, I'm on my way to work, and there is a vehicle in front of me, and a spark comes off of the vehicle. I don't know if there was a chain dragging or whatever. The spark comes through the windshield, passes by my head and out the back of the window, out of the back of my truck. It obviously wasn't a spark. You know what I mean? It had to be something else.
Like an orb or something like that.
But it was orange, like a spark would be. This all happened within 36 hours of everything. Very strange. Like, all right, so the gargoyle was one night. The next night was the eyeball. That morning was the spark.
Was the spark there? Or
Yeah.
had you done anything different prior to going to bed and having that first experience? What had you done before then?
I don't really remember. I don't think I did anything different. But I mean, that kind of goes back to the house that we lived in. I don't know, I was probably 10 when they built onto that section we had the old house, and they built onto the section that we stayed in. My brother, my sister, and me, and there was a fourth bedroom. And the old part of the house, there was no issues, like never anything at all. But as soon as we moved into this brand new section of house, everyone started having issues. My brother, my sister, myself. My sister was, she would have a girl that would visit her in her room that wasn't there. And my brother was staying in my sister's room one night when my sister wasn't there. And my sister had a hammock kind of thing with stuffed animals above her bed. Right. And all of a sudden, that hammock exploded just in the middle of the night.
And all the animals went?
Everything went everywhere.
Wow.
My mom, when we were moving out of that house, she had heard all the stories that we had told, and she was like, all right, you know what? If there's something here, make yourself known, trying to be just joking.
Right.
I'm sure. Because she probably didn't know what was happening. And she said the door almost came off the hinges. It slammed so hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, didn't you say too that after that you found out or thought that it may have been buried over an Indian burial ground?
So some of the old timers in the neighborhood, they said that long time ago they think that may have been a burial ground for Indians. So maybe we disturbed something we just didn't know of,
Right.
Very creepy.
That is very, very creepy. I had some family members, and they're still family members, but years ago, we're talking in the mid 80s. I'm not going to say how close they are, but I went and stayed all night with them, and they had just, redone this property and moved a mobile home in and built onto it. Had a real nice place. And I remember one day when we were out in the front yard playing, I asked, one of them, I said, where did these come from? I said, these look like headstones. And they said, yeah, we had them up in the hills. We packed them down here. We think they're graves. I'm like, well, I believe I put them back. And they looked at me and they said, well, we're going to dig there sometimes to see what we can find. I'm like, I wouldn't be doing that. No. But, these were because I remember one day, one of the dates was like 1896 on it. And this is in historical Hatfield McCoy country. Mm-hmm. It's actually in West Virginia. Yeah. And I won't give the exact location. Hopefully they never went and dug anything up. But, these family members have I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah. Because they've had a rough life, so to speak. Oh my God. But and I just wanted to tell you that because that just by them disturbing just the headstones. Mm-hmm. I do think stuff's possible, and I've told you this before. I don't think it would hurt me because I've never been in a situation like you were explaining. Right. And hopefully, I'm going to have to edit this part out. A ghost hunt a few weeks ago with Elliot and the Spooky family. And I even told Elliot, before I got there, I'm like, hey, man, you're not going to get anything with me here. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. He's like, really? I'm like, one of the ghost hunts I went on before, the guy told me to leave, that, I was like negative, and I really hadn't said anything. And he's like, you just don't really believe, and that's bringing negativity down, and I would like for you to leave. So I actually did leave that one. I wouldn't ask to leave the one with Elliot, but after I did leave, I understand they did find something. Oh, really? Shortly after I left. Yeah, they got a recording and so forth, and hopefully I've not ruined that for anybody.
I wonder why.
I don't know, but we were even Beagle and myself were in the room, and I even told him, I'm like, dude, nothing's going to happen because I'm in here. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, nothing's going to happen. I'm like, trust me. And nothing happened to me and him, you know.
This is strange. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. I wonder what are you putting out in the universe, Goose?
I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe very hard in my spirituality, and I just don't think, you know, that something will hurt me that way,
right?
You know, but I'm the same type of guy that has never watched The Exorcist all the way through, you know.
Well,
and
I don't blame you.
You know, and I actually describe that to some people, and they ask me, why have you never watched The Exorcist? I'm like, well, you know, that's stuff I don't like religious horror movies because for me, and not to stand on a soapbox or anything, that just makes me feel bad inside.
I completely understand that.
To watch those movies.
Yeah, I completely understand it. It almost feels like you are, I don't want to say blaspheming. That might not be right. But it feels different. Like, it feels strange. Like an overwhelming feeling.
Yeah. Now, like Michael Myers, Friday 13th, Texas Chainsaw, I can watch people get hacked and sawed up all day long.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just people.
You know, but, right. You know, but I mean, people's ask me, you know, why haven't you done? I'm like, well, because I don't mess with that stuff.
No.
That stuff could really happen. Mm-hmm. All this Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Michael Myers, that's not going to happen.
Right.
You know, that's make believe and pretend. And so, I mean, but I'm just real strong in my faith, and just I don't give anything power to hurt me that way, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But I love hearing about ghost stories. How old were you when you first noticed something? I mean, because you said at that when you were 19.
Yep.
What was your youngest age? You actually think back now and you think, wow, you know, maybe I did see something or something did happen.
Probably 10 or 11. Yeah, and it was right around the time we first moved into that house, actually. Everything that I've had happen to me happened at that house.
Did you have anything happen after that?
Nope.
Nothing at all?
Nope.
Now, I actually have saw stuff at a house I lived in Hyman. I've actually have saw in the house I live in now. I actually have saw things and heard things like children that are not there. Mm-hmm. And me saying, come on in, and, you know, look for my youngest daughter, and she's upstairs. She wasn't at the door, period. So,
wow.
You know, I have saw stuff, but I just don't think it can hurt me because I put no effort or faith in it, I guess.
So it's more of a spiritual shield, I suppose.
Yes.
Would be a good way to say that. You don't let yourself get to that point where you're overwhelmed with emotion in those situations.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
But, you know, I do love Halloween, and I look forward to having you on, and thank you very much, my friend, for coming in. And I don't know when the next roundtable will be, but we're going to have one more before the end of the year. Okay. And I think Dirty Dan's going to try to get DJ Nikki on it as well.
Well, that'd be cool.
And I would love to have you on that roundtable with us as well.
Definitely. Well, my schedule's crazy, but if I could work it, I'd definitely be there.
I would definitely love for you to be there for that.
Okay.
And thank you very much again, and I encourage everybody to check out the Paranormal Trucker podcast.
I got one more story.
Okay. Oh, yes, please. And please take your time. You were looking at your phone.
No,
I didn't want
Well,
to.
this is my work phone. I didn't.
Okay.
And I've got it on silent, so I don't want to be like, miss a call and then get in trouble.
please share your story with us.
Well, and it brought when you were talking about your faith and how strong you are in your faith, it brought me back to a story that I had. Well, it didn't actually happen. Well, let me say that again. When I say that there was a ghost story,
now don't come in here and make up fake shit.
No. This happened. It's not a ghost story.
Right.
It actually actually happened. Physically happened.
Gotcha.
Not like like the spiritual stuff.
Right.
Like this actually happened, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the possession thing I was talking about, plus your faith. So when I was 21, mm-hmm. I had lived in a town north of here that is kind of a larger town, and I worked in a jail, and of course the jails have these days, where the mental asylums are no longer a thing, they get a lot of people that are, have a lot of mental issues.
Right.
So I'm working this unit with one of the other corrections officers, and he is strong in his faith as well. And he was telling me about one particular inmate that worked, or that was in the unit at the time, and that he thought that there was something up with him. And I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I was praying the other day as I was walking past his cell, and he freaked out on me." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Just do me a favor. When you go down, do your checks in a little bit, when you walk past his cell, pray silently. Don't say it out loud. Just pray silently." Okay. I start into his room, or into the sub-day room, they call it. And I start walking down the hallway, and I'm praying the whole time. And I can see his cell approaching, and before I get to it, it was like he ran from the back wall and slammed into the window and was screaming, "Why do you hate me? What did I do to you? Why do you hate me?" And I prayed and walked all the way back out. The next check I didn't pray. Walked in there, cool as the breeze. He said, "Hey man, how's it going?" What?
Wow.
How do you explain that? I mean, other than the
like
the divine,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
that definitely sent chills down my spine.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to explain something like that. You can't explain that stuff away.
Maybe he was possessed.
I think so.
He
had shark eyes.
Really?
Come think about it.
Shark eyes?
Yeah, like real beady black.
Gotcha.
Eyes.
Beady black eyes.
Beady black eyes.
They, if you ever wanted to have fun with him, if he would run up and slam his face on the thing, you could just start praying and
just pray and then stop, pray and stop.
Yeah.
So, I could have done that.
But again, thank you very much, Cronkite, or PT.
Yeah, I go by PT now.
See, you could be PT Cronkite.
PT Cronkite. I like that.
You like
Call
that?
me Sir Thomas PT Cronkite.
There you go. There you go.
I'm royalty now.
But you do have a website, correct?
I do have a website. It's not up and running just yet.
But you do have the dominion name.
I do have the name.
Or domain name.
The domain. Yeah, I do have the domain name, and I've got everything I need to get it set up. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I haven't got a company to set it up.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Gotcha. And what is the name of that domain that
it is
you do have?
theparanormaltrucker.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
And your YouTube channel, just search what?
The Paranormal Trucker.
There you go.
Yep. You just search
and
Paranormal Trucker.
You can also go to Here To Chew Bubblegum.com, go to Friends of the Show, scroll down, and click on Paranormal Trucker, and that'll take you straight to your YouTube page.
Yep.
So we have a nice picture. So
I've got to get stuff lined out. I come in here and you've got websites and Friends of the Show, and I've got a YouTube channel.
And I hate updating the website. I mean, it's not that hard, and I can teach you how to do it. And it's really not that hard, but it's just time consuming.
Yeah.
And that's something like yourself I don't have a lot of is free time.
Well, and that's the thing is like it's just tough to find the time, and where Snowman and Marge they live away from here, so it's kind of hard to work our schedules out when I'm free and then they're not free. And
yeah, I can totally understand that.
But we're kicking around some ideas to get some more content out there. So there may be some shows where, I won't say shows, but maybe some shorts where we're not all together,
right?
But, where we do each other, do.
If you ever want to send me segments from your show, I will be glad to put them in our radio show, like a 5 to 7 minute segment. I'll throw them in the radio show.
Definitely.
So I would, just make sure you've got Marge under control. She's not using any bad words or anything like that.
Well, like I said, it's like herding cats. No, they're great people. They really are.
Yes, they are. They're fun too.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, thank you very much again, Cronkite, for coming in. Before we go, do you want to touch the microphone? Oh, see, yeah, you can
for old time's sake.
Yeah. But thank you very much, Cronkite. That was the paranormal trucker. And I want to thank him. He's our last, and we saved the best for last, our guest ghost story. And we'll be back in just a moment.
No one knows inside me. She said, what's in your head?
You need to come up with some kind of dance.
There is some censorship on Twitch.
Well,
yeah, you're right. You can't show your nipples and you can't throw up on a live.
Right.
Horrible censorship. Those are their only rules.
What if you do both? Does it cancel each other out? And you can,
oh, no, I think you'd be permanently banned forever. They'd IP ban you.
Oh, man.
I can get around that.
How?
Yeah, there's people that just wear pasties. You can wear pasties.
Or a bikini top.
It's just, here we go.
Guy. Have you seen that? Have you seen that dude?
No,
the 300-pound dude who wears the bikini. Oh my God. It's
I have a picture of Chris in one of my bikini tops.
I know. I saw that.
Great.
It's hilarious.
Never show me that.
Oh, that's actually going to be
We
the
will
Christmas
not be friends.
card.
You put your phone down right now.
That's actually
I will
going to
lock
be
you in that room.
Christmas card this year.
No, I'm number 3.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't celebrate Christmas.
We are back with Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Auron.
We have the spooky family in the Here to Chew Bubblegum headquarters. We have Auron and Rebecca from a secret location in Massachusetts, and Dirty Dan is by himself in the barbecue pit. And you know, Auron, when I say, and I thought of this earlier when we started the show, when I say Massachusetts, the Family Guy, the spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America.
It is totally true. We all know about the Twinkie Factory.
Yeah, it keeps going through my head.
There's so much shit from Family Guy that's just dead on point if you're from Massachusetts.
So we're going to start out this segment. We will let you guys go again. It will be your choice of topics.
Oh, man. I don't know.
So, no.
Well, listen, it's it is the spooky season, and we are the spooky family. So we did an episode just a few days ago where we talked about our favorite, Halloween songs. Okay? And we put together an ultimate playlist for Halloween. So I would like, one of the things we ask our listeners is, what did we forget? So what I want to ask you all is, if you all had your favorite Halloween songs, what are they?
That's a good question. I am getting a little bit of feedback, Rebecca, from somewhere.
Is it for me?
No.
Okay.
It's coming through the board. One of my favorite Halloween songs. Hello, check 1 2.
I'll just do it.
Yes, that is better. One of my favorite Halloween songs would be "Werewolf in London."
Yeah, by Warren Zevon.
Yes.
You mentioned that one. That one's one of my favorites too. I mean, what other song can you talk about? A werewolf walking through the city with a Chinese menu in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a pretty good song.
I think we go into it. It originally was a
microphone.
Well, it was a joke, I believe.
Yeah, it was. It was a joke. Jackson Brown, another singer, had asked him if he could make a song out of it about an American werewolf in London, and somehow that ended up with Werewolves of London. So I don't know how that worked. But Dirty Dan, what about you, buddy?
Do y'all consider "Don't Fear the Reaper" by Blue Oyster Cult a Halloween song?
That's a good one.
Yeah, we actually that one's on our list too. Yeah.
There.
So.
Because I would do that, but then I'd also think Avenged Sevenfold off their title album or their self-titled album, Avenged Sevenfold. Oh my God, what is the name of the song? It is A Little Piece of Heaven.
Yeah. Okay. That one. Yeah, that would work.
Because that's all about. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the music video for it, but if you haven't, you should. It is almost like now I can't think of the damn name of the movie because I'm put on the spot.
American Pie.
No, it's not Bandcamp related, Goose. It's Halloween related.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
No, it's not Casper either, Dick.
Hits Heather RVT commented and said Monster Mash. That is like
Monster Mash by Bobby Boris Pickett.
That's like the.
So we had 6 songs. We had 6 songs that we considered everybody had, and it was like
classic ones.
Yeah, it was like haunted. Monster Mash, Thriller by Michael Jackson, Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr., the Halloween theme by John Carpenter.
That's a good one.
The Addams Family television theme, and then Haunted House by Jumpin' Gene Simmons, I think's his name.
What about Rockwell? Somebody's watching me.
Somebody's watching me. That was one of Beagle's.
What about Jeepers Creepers?
Ooh, we were just talking about that.
That's a good one. We hadn't really. That's not one we had on the show, but that one works. That one works a lot.
Scream from Avenged Sevenfold.
You guys just did Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah. We had, let's see, some of the other ones we had were Night Prowler by AC/DC. It inspired Richard Ramirez and all that stuff. Then we also had the Sympathy for the Devil, the Guns N' Roses version. Season of the Witch by Donovan.
That's a good one.
All kinds of stuff, man.
What about Elvis himself, Devil in Disguise?
Oh, yeah, The Devil in Disguise by Elvis Presley. We didn't even think about that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
What about Dracula by Rob
Zombie? Yeah, listen, you got Gertie is the biggest Rob Zombie fan in the room. So we actually didn't go with Dracula on the list. We went with I'm Your Boogeyman by White Zombie.
Very superstitious.
We had that one. We had Stevie Wonder on there,
Okay.
Superstition.
Well, Gertie, I want to ask you this since you said you're a Rob Zombie fan.
Okay.
And I kind of know the answer because I've kind of listened to the show and I've listened to the radio show that was in our area here this week. Rob Zombie's Halloween films. On a scale of 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
How many stars would you give the first one?
A 2.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. It's awkward. The acting is strange. I appreciate.
Well, it's Rob Zombie, so.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I like I love The Devil's Rejects is one of my favorite horror movies.
One of the best movies of all time.
The Devil's Rejects is awesome.
I don't know. It just felt very cringy the entire time I was watching it.
My whole theory.
I do love Tyler Mane as Michael Myers, though.
Yeah.
I like his imposing stature.
He's a great guy.
To me, it's very effective. I like that choice.
Has anyone seen the new Halloween Kills movie?
Yes.
Beagle has, but we have not.
We have not.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, Heather just made a great point. I Put a Spell on You by CCR.
That's a good one.
We actually chose.
We had 3 different versions
Hocus
there.
Pocus.
We had the Hocus Pocus version. Then
The Hocus Pocus version, by hands down.
Yeah, and then there was the Screaming Jay Hawkins version that's out there. It's pretty good too if you get a chance. There's just so
I don't
many
think I've heard that
songs.
one yet.
Yeah, there's just so many songs out there that are just great for this time of year.
One of my favorites, like probably my all-time favorite, like Halloweeny song would be "Abracadabra" by Steve Miller Band.
Steve Miller Band.
What about
we had that?
That's
one
a
on
good
us, too.
one. That's a good one.
Yeah. That was on our
What's
list.
new, Scooby Doo?
Oh shit! Sit down.
So, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
0 stars. I'll go ahead and say it. 0 stars.
0 stars.
Elliot has a very strong aversion to that.
This is Gertie's
movie.
question.
I know.
Elliot.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
A 2 as well. Yeah, and I love Malcolm McDowell too. I love Malcolm McDowell and Tyler Mane.
Did you ride the horse?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's all Halloween 2 is that stupid horse.
You're fixated on the horse.
Well, it's like, okay, so Jeepers Creepers. You mentioned the song Jeepers Creepers. I can't stand the movie. And everybody's like, why? It's such a good movie. No, it's not. How in the world is this demon going to get a vanity license plate? Does the demon walk into the DMV and he's like, hey, I'm only going to be using this every 27 years. But can I get a license plate that says be eating you? Don't read into it. Just, I'm a demon and I need a vanity license plate.
That goes back. All right. Auron mentioned the new Halloween Kills movie. You all have not saw it.
No.
Have you heard any spoilers or anything?
I have,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. So you'll be fine if we talk about it.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We don't
care. Dirty Dan, you've saw it, correct?
It was fucking terrible. I turned it off.
All right. Are you serious? You watched
Yes.
the Demi Lovato horse shit, episode 1, but you turned Halloween Kills off.
I've never wanted a celebrity to be abducted as much as I want Demi Lovato to be abducted.
I am with you.
Auron,
it's bad.
What was your thoughts on Halloween Kills?
So I am a big pussy, and I don't like to watch scary movies like that. I'm big into the spiritual stuff, and when it comes to putting myself in an unnecessary false sense of heightened fear, I'm not into it. I like themed movies, like I'll watch Halloween style movies or but when it comes to like horrible, demons from hell and I got enough demons in my own life. I don't need to be freaked out on my fucking couch.
And I totally understand what you're saying because I have never saw The Exorcist all the way through. I've saw parts of it, but I've never saw it all the way through.
All those scary movies I saw were movies I saw when I was young because my older siblings and cousins forced me to watch horrible shit.
Right.
Teletubbies Go to Town isn't a scary movie, Auron.
What did you say?
I said Teletubbies Go to Town isn't a scary movie.
I'm a little bit older than the Teletubby generation. Thanks, Dan. That's your generation.
Rebecca, have you saw Halloween Kills? She's not saw it. Beagle?
I don't fuck. I'm on the same page as Auron. I used to watch all of the scary movies. I don't fuck with that shit anymore.
Dirty Dan, how far did you get into it before you turned it off?
About 40 minutes.
Okay, so what was the last scene that you watched?
You can't remember.
Okay,
it honestly wasn't worth my time.
Okay. Blacked out 10 minutes prior to that from rage.
No, what I mean,
similar, yes.
In this Halloween Kills timeline, Michael Myers 63 years old.
Yeah,
he's an old ass man now.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
he's older than Jamie Lee Curtis.
And he takes out 11 firefighters in full turnout gear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just. I mean, yes,
with pikes and chainsaws.
Yes,
I think I've heard.
There was a petition to get that removed from the movie.
Well, there was also a petition.
I can see why too.
It had 15 signatures at the time.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was bad.
Then there was a petition to remove the petition.
Yeah.
And it had more signatures.
I mean,
than the original.
One thing I've always liked about the Halloween movies, the franchise, is especially the first one. At the end of it, he shoots him 6 times. You come back with the second one, which. And a lot of people don't like the second one, the original one. I thought it was brilliant because it picked up exactly where the first one left off, and it continued.
And it made logical sense. You go to the hospital.
Yes,
that's where that's where that would end up.
Yes, and they started to chant in this one, "Evil dies tonight." That was the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. I mean, you've got all
these. There was a woman in the mob that that forms to take on Michael Myers. That she has an iron. A clothes iron in her hand. That's an interesting choice.
I feel like they just gave him way more superhuman power in this movie than before.
Yes.
And I wasn't
exactly.
a fan.
And I wasn't either because I mean, in even the Halloween 2, going back to the original Halloween 2. Towards the end, he gets stabbed in the eye. Mm-hmm. He gets set on fire. The film ends.
Loomis shoots the oxygen tank.
Yes, and explodes up. And but Michael Myers has been one of those characters where nobody had ever really in any of the movies. And I know you're supposed to forget the other movies when you watch this one. Nobody had ever really tried to kill him until they tried in this one. And you've got a 61, 62, 63-year-old man out here. That's not going to happen.
Tossing a 200-plus pound guy in full turnout gear 50 feet into the windshield of one of the fire trucks. I'm sorry. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, from a firefighter standpoint, everyone knows you don't get a K-12 saw and it starts your first pull. You're sitting there going like this for a fucking minute. So the fact that it just starts right up and he gets it shoved in his neck is bullshit.
Turnout's way
That's
too,
all I'm gonna say.
like 30 pounds.
Yeah.
In my experience, they were very heavy.
As the son and brother of a firefighter, and the husband of one too. The firefighting thing, all of that sounds horrible. That's like not something that I would have.
Which it makes sense story wise, that there was a fire.
Yeah.
Who responds to fires?
I would have been Michael Myers and killed to have a K-12 saw that started on the first pull like that.
And I guess that's something why I didn't like this movie is because, even though it's a horror film, it's not real. None of this shit could happen. But this was just so over the top. Right. It just made it ridiculous. Now,
I guess they were just so pent up from COVID that they had to go all out.
Well, and then going back, like Warren said, that's why I've never watched movies like The Exorcist and stuff, because shit like that could happen. I don't want to think about that.
It does.
100%.
Well, yes.
That's my whole thing. Like, I will watch all sorts of types of movies that are like fantastical and crazy, but when it comes to like the last scary movie I saw was the Exorcist of Emily Rose. And that shit fucked my world up because when I took an occult class, occult in media. And when I was in college, and we actually talked about the Emily Rose case because it was a real fucking court case and it was a real thing that happened. Mm-hmm. And then so like when I saw that movie, I was in my 20s still, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll go see it. No, that shit fucked me up because that shit really fucking happened. And no, thank you. No, not today, Satan.
I'm that guy that just the scarier the movie, the harder and louder I'm gonna laugh in the theaters and just piss everyone off, because that's what scary movies do to me. But then growing up in the Catholic Church, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, I damn near cried from laughing so hard at, because I don't know if it was more of the people freaking out or the actual movie, but it was a good movie.
If you had to pick one movie to watch on Halloween, what would it be? Beagle, we'll start with you. You can only watch one movie.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yes. Yes.
So good.
Really? Okay.
No, seriously.
I've already watched it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This month.
Why?
I'm going to watch it again.
What do you love about it?
I can't begin to even articulate.
Mother's milk, man.
Mother's milk.
Authentic Bulgarian miak.
Can you do the voice of the Ernest great grandfather, the preacher? Yeah, when they bind him.
No, that's not.
Yeah, you can turn around talking to microphone, dude.
That's the troll.
It's like, oh, let me address the people in the room, and then I just turn away.
It's okay, you don't have to. It just makes me laugh when you do that.
Drum roll, please.
It actually makes you uncomfortable.
Also that, but it also makes me laugh
because of just how ceremonial it is.
Yeah. If I had to choose a movie though on Halloween besides the original Halloween, which is number one,
yes,
Trick or Treat. Have you ever watched Trick or Treat with Little Sam?
Yes, yes. Now there's another one called Trick or Treat from the mid '80s where they play the record backwards.
Ozzy Osbourne.
It's
got Gene Simmons. Yes. And
it's got Skippy from Family Ties.
Yeah, it's the end of it takes place in a high school gymnasium, and everything starts burning down and getting shot with electricity. Yeah, hey, Children of the Corn's good.
For me, it's between two different movies. Probably The Burbs.
Mm-hmm. I love The Burbs.
Or Elvira, Mr. to the Dark.
Oh, that is such a good soundtrack to play.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Auron?
I'm also tied to the if I'm going with like just fun and like chill like standard Halloween movie, it's always going to be Hocus Pocus. And if I was going to go with scary, I'd go with the 80s cult classic The Gate, where the kids accidentally open a gate to hell in their backyard.
That's a good one.
I have never heard of that. Please tell me more.
Oh, bro, it's amazing. You got to check it out because it's bad 80s to the point where like you're never really scared. These kids, they're digging a hole in the backyard because that's what we did in the 80s when you were bored.
Right.
And their dog gets like hit by a car, and the parents are out of town, and the older brother puts the dog in the hole and covers it up because he doesn't want to tell the kids. But they the demons in hell consider it a sacrifice, and they open a gate to hell in their backyard.
See, my favorite genre of movies is bad 80s movies. So,
right. I mean, of course.
So I will be looking this up. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You'd really never heard of that?
No, I've really never heard of it. I promise.
For real.
So
Okay.
this might be a Mandela effect. Maybe you grew up in a reality that didn't have that or stovetop stuffers.
Yeah, Stouffer stuffed hot. Okay, let's get into that for a second.
All right,
'cause
go.
That blew my mind the other day.
It fucked my whole world up.
We
I cried
cannot
on the
get
inside.
started on Mandela effects. We are on a time limit today. Oh my lord!
But did we not? Do you not remember Stouffer's?
It was Stouffer's.
Oh, we do.
Stovetop
100%.
stuff.
Yes,
100%.
100%.
I can send you a list of 500 Mandela effects.
Oh yeah, listen.
Please-
I was
please
talking
do.
to Gertie.
Please do.
I was talking to Gertie the other day, and I was like, Gertie, do you remember Stouffer's stovetop stuffing? And she goes, I remember stovetop stuffing. I was like, get out of my car. I was like, this is ridiculous.
So you don't remember Stouffer's?
I don't remember Stouffer's
Yeah.
leading the title of it. I remember the box.
It was
but
Stouffer's.
And this just in, Gertie's filing for divorce.
Well, there's a little bit of an age difference between me and Gertie, so maybe it wasn't around when she was cognizant of things. But I still remember when I was little, Stouffer's stovetop stuffing. That's how I always remembered it. And somebody brought that up the other day, and I was like, "No, it's always been that." And they're like, "It's never been that."
It's
my
craft
God.
now.
And I saw a TikTok that this guy made, and he makes a really good point because like some of the Mandela effects you could potentially be like, oh, you're misremembering it, but the guy made a point. He goes, everybody remembers the commercials, everybody remembers the jingles. Like you can't misremember a fucking jingle, you know?
Yeah, like it's easy to misremember the whole Luke, I am your father, because and once it gets out into the zeitgeist and there's people quoting it, somebody's automatically going to always quote it wrong, and then somebody's going to hear that and pick up on it. I get that, I understand that. But
how about Queen? We are the champions.
Yeah, at the end.
Wait a minute, what? Hold on, back up. This is one I'm not aware of. Please fill me in.
At the end, it was like, we are the champions of the world.
Of the world.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It doesn't end that way.
It doesn't end that way.
No. Okay,
Doesn't end that way.
so I'm gonna have to explore further on this because one of my best friends is unhealthily obsessed with Queen and Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna have to have a phone call.
And it ruined the Mighty Ducks for me.
Yes.
I quit. All right, I quit. What about the Mighty Ducks? What the fuck about the Mighty Ducks?
Because they're singing the song at the end.
And it says
And Emilio Estevez holds up the trophy.
Yeah.
Of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say of the world anymore, though.
Of the world. See?
Fuck you, Emilio.
It's crazy, man.
Dirty Dan, Stanford abduction. Stanford UFO abduction.
I didn't get to say my movies.
Oh,
Dirty
Dirty
Dan. Your
Dan.
movies, Dan.
Dirty Dan, if you were going to watch a scary movie, what would it be?
I have two also.
Okay.
The Ring.
Okay.
I like that movie.
American
But
version
also-
or Japanese version?
What?
American or Japanese version?
Oh, Japanese.
Okay, Ringu. Yeah, I like the Japanese version.
And it's an older M. Night Shyamalan film called The Village.
The Village is good. What? The Village is good.
I'm pretty sure The Village was filmed where I live. So it's like,
So it.
Pretty sure The
So
Village
y'all
is
know that
garbage.
movie then.
Rebecca, I'm going to ask you the same question before we move on.
Jim Jones documentaries. That's what Rebecca watches all the time. She's trying to.
No, she listens to Alan Watts.
She's trying to pick up pointers. She's like, "Oh, okay, do that then."
Scary movie, Rebecca, what would it be?
Scary movie, or are we doing Halloween movies still?
Well, this scary Halloween movie. If you were into that and you were going to watch one on Halloween, what would it be?
Hocus Pocus is my all-time favorite Halloween movie.
That's a good one.
Scary movies, it would probably be between The Conjuring and Annabelle, because fuck all of that.
Sounds good to me. Dirty Dan, tell us about the Stanford UFO abduction. And you may have some news. We're not going to mention names, but you may have some news, correct?
Yes. So I do have a brief story on the Stanford abduction from Jerry Black, but just as a recap. But in that news, we are hopefully getting an interview with the people that were involved with that because of a new recent transition. I now have access to the cousin of those people who will talk to them for us. So,
is Stanford abduction? That's the two ladies and the little girl.
Yes.
Yes, that happened on, what was it, 27 in Stanford?
Yeah.
That was the missing time radiation.
And they had burns and stuff on them and so forth.
Oh yeah, and gentleman confirmed that one of them still does have severe burns and health issues from it.
Really? They still have severe burns and health issues from it.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm looking forward to that one. That one's great. That's great.
Yeah, so we've got that coming up. Now, I want you all to comment on this. I'm going to read a little segment.
Okay.
And I want everyone to comment on this, especially you, Gertie.
Uh-oh.
Because Gertie's kind of a mad scientist type. So, is an anti-aging treatment on the way? The longevity industry, startups trying to make people live longer or even forever, basically, tends to attract charlatans and scandal. But a terrific feature story in New Statesman makes the case that a handful of ventures in space are finally starting to hone in on some compelling ideas that might eventually provide modest or even radical life extension. I'm confident we'll have an anti-aging drug out by the time it's relevant for me, said 27-year-old Celine Halua, a PhD dropout who now works at the anti-aging startup Loyal. She predicted that such a drug will become available within a decade. Loyal is working on extending the life expectancies of dogs, not humans, though she says that this will cross over and be expanded to both species. But the New Statesman's Jerry Kleeman, the author of the 2020 Sex, Robots, and Vegan Meat Adventures at the Frontier of Birth, Food, Sex, and Death,
Good Lord,
makes the case that the tech could be piloted on dogs and extended to humans later.
This story has everything. Everything.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Allegedly.
All we need is a good prime rib buffet and we will be all set.
I just wanted to read something where I could say sex robots.
Yeah, of course. So, that's the goal of everybody.
Gertie, I'm going to start with you. Anti-aging drug. Do you think it would be possible or not? Because I have read in probably some publications you've read before, and this was years ago, they said that people that were in their 40s, and this was about 5 years ago, had in this lifetime the expectancy to live up to 200 years due to modern medicine and stuff. Do you agree or disagree with that first?
I think that we will extend our life expectancy pretty exponentially in the next probably 20 years.
Okay. So you do kind of agree with this article that this could be right around the corner.
You'll laugh at me, but I'm not. I mean, allegedly in my brain when you were reading that kind of thing, allegedly, it like makes me think of like John McAfee and like his stuff that he was trying to do. And,
allegedly,
in his strange huts in the Caribbean. Was it Caribbean?
Allegedly,
McAfee's dead too. Sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had to step away for a little bit.
Yeah.
Bobby
Schwack, as he said.
Elliot?
I agree. Bobby Bezos.
Bobby Bezos. Yes, Bobby Bezos. Elliot, what's your thoughts on anti-aging?
Man, listen, I'm all for not getting old, but also, like, I think
it's a brave stance.
Yeah, the Queen song, "Who Wants to Live Forever?" And I mean, who does? It would get boring after a while, especially if like the people you love are dying too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's it's one of those things where I hope that if this, I hope it's something that doesn't take us down the whole. You have to be part machine. You know, like upload your brain patterns to computers and all that stuff, because then
you mean like Walt Disney?
Yeah, well, cryogenics and all that stuff. But like, who wants to be a robot? You know what I mean? And they're a cyborg. So if they do this, I hope it's some kind of Beagle does, but I hope it's some kind of pill or something. I don't know. I'm not well versed in the medical arts If you want to talk about comic books, I can help you there.
Okay. Beagle, I'm going to ask you a different question, but it goes along with that. Sex robot.
Yay or nay?
Yes, yay or nay, sex robot.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
It can only enhance.
Are they made of ballistic gel?
I don't know. It just
or is it more like a pie filling, Goose?
Sex robots and vegan meat: the adventures at the frontier of birth, food, sex, and death.
Not the first time I've heard that combination.
Okay.
In your personal life.
Yeah. So it doesn't really shock me.
Oh God.
Really puts iRobot into a whole new light.
Auron, anti-aging medicine.
Really puts Philip K. Dick in
So I have a lot to say on this idea. So I am fairly decently versed in medical knowledge, and I'm a holistic health practitioner. I'm a certified herbalist. I work with natural medicines. I am a firm believer. My understanding of biology is that the human body is designed to be immortal. The only reason that we're not already immortal is because we are given a bunch of horrible vaccines when we're babies, and our entire life we're bombarded with not just chemicals and poisons and things that inhibit our body's ability to heal itself, but also there's a very intense psychological and emotional aspect of keeping your body alive. And when you are bombarded with negative ideas, negative self-talk, influences from society, violence and trauma in your personal experience, all of those things contribute to your body's inability to regenerate properly. If you think about it, like if you cut yourself, right, your body heals itself and you don't have to tell it to do anything. It just does it automatically. So if you look into the studies of, institutes like the Heart Math Institute and people like Wim Hof, who, have been able to accomplish amazing, superhuman type things with their body just through mental understanding and physical stimulation through things like breath, you realize that the potential for immortality is, I think, a lot more natural. And all of the stuff that they're doing, we're going to be able to extend life. Though the pharmaceutical industry, those are the assholes that are the reason our lives aren't currently extended to their natural potential. So I think it's all just a Dr. Tony show.
Okay. I would just
Allegedly,
like to say
you may have a lot in common with Scientology.
I hope one day we can actually really know what goes on inside of pharmaceutical labs, because my first real job out there fixing trash trucks, I had a breakdown on one. It was GlaxoSmithKline. And
the devil himself.
They had horses there. They had cows there. They had all sorts of small farm animals. Not just that, though. To get to my broken down truck to fix it, I had to have my eyes scanned. They had to fingerprint me. They had an FBI check on me. They had to know my blood type, my social security card, driver's license, 3 emergency contacts in case anything were to happen to me, and my health care. Why do they need all that just to fix a broken truck outside?
Right. Exactly. There's the thing that gets me with all the anti-aging stuff and just the pharmaceutical industry in general. Nobody openly talks about the fact that Pfizer is the company that killed the Jews by making the gas. Like, they literally made the gas that killed the Jews in the chambers, and they're the ones that make all our fucking medicine, and this kind of stuff ties back into the whole, I love the Roundup example, right? As an herbalist, one of the first things we learn are all of the medicinal plants that are in your yard, right? Dandelions, which if you combine the flower, the leaf, and the root into a decoction, it's the most powerful natural heart medicine and cardiovascular medicine on the planet.
And it's really good tea.
That owns all of the heart medication is the same company that owns Roundup, and Roundup puts a dandelion on their fucking bottle and convinces you to put horrible toxins in your yard that'll kill your dogs and your children to kill those plants, so you can't make a medicine that will compete with what they're making money off of, which is a synthetic thing that doesn't do what it's supposed to anyway.
So,
and dandelion tea is really good.
So
yeah, Auron, dandelion wine is even better.
Auron, are you pro big pharmaceuticals? Is that what I'm getting?
No, not at all. I think big pharma should be burned to the fucking ground.
It was a joke, Oren.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
You have the same problem I do. Your sarcastic voice and your regular voice sound exactly the same.
It's been years of practice.
See, I was just born this way.
But yeah.
All right, Lady Gaga.
Ew, don't you ever compare me to that. Speaking of demons who fucking eat
The
flesh.
devil herself.
Ugh. Yeah. Have you guys looked into the did you know who Lady Abramovich is?
Yeah. Maria.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
her first name.
She's pretty cool. No,
is there a story with her and Lady Gaga?
Yeah, so Maria Abramovich, who I learned about in art school because she was one of the most controversial what is it called? She like all of her art was conceptual and it was all based around like severe physical pain. Like she did this, like the thing we studied in school, she did her first big show. She did this thing where she just sat in a chair and she put out a bunch of like weapons and anybody could come and do anything that they wanted to her. And when you look into her work, everything about her art is fucking satanic. She hosts these events called spirit cookings where they allegedly create food that's in the shape of humans. But let's be real, they're actually eating fucking people because they're evil as fuck.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do some research on her.
There's some good
Everything that he's talking about as far as all of like the satanic like cults and the rituals and everything can be found in my Lake Forest.
Yeah, and a real, like, if you're not familiar with it, to like all the listeners out there who this might be their first time and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? There's a documentary you can watch on YouTube called Out of the Shadows, and it details all of the connections between Hollywood and the music industry and Satanism and child sacrifice. Like it's all connected. When you look at the stuff that like in Canada where they're finding, hundreds and hundreds of children's bodies in mass graves, they weren't just killing these kids because they were native children. They were using them, they were abusing them, and they were ritually sacrificing them.
Heather's comment, look up human cake. The nickname for it is actually called baby cakes.
Oh yeah, and there's a book called it's called The Cannibal Club, and it was published by an author named Joseph Pilates, who you can't find any information on. It was published in France a few months before Anthony Bourdain died, committed suicide allegedly, and the entire book it says at the beginning, it says any names or references in this book that are real are completely fiction, and then the entire story is about a famous chef named Anthony Bourdain who cooked for Harvey Weinstein, who was actually the devil in disguise, and got him to agree to be his private chef and made him sign a contract that said you can't ever talk about it. But when Anthony signed the contract, he found out that all the food he would be cooking was people.
And he stepped away.
Joe went around the world and stayed on the outskirts of town because they were taking homeless people and they were taking children from these villages and fucking cooking and eating them.
And Anthony Bourdain's assistant actually released a documentary on YouTube about all those trials and errors that they had to go through to get out and not be found. And then, Anthony killed himself along with Epstein and R.I.P. Harambe. That's all I'm going to say about that.
you got me on that one, Dirty Dan.
What was that, Rebecca?
I said it all started with the fucking gorilla.
It all started with the gorilla.
R.I.P. Harambe. Dick's out for Harambe.
Harambe.
Does anybody have a bad joke of the day they want to share with us?
Why did you open up that door?
I don't know.
You're in for it now.
So, Dirty Dan, do you have a bad joke of the day you want to share with us?
One.
Oh, just one? Ooh.
Yeah, you only get to share one, Dirty Dan. We have to take turns.
We'll be here all fucking day if you let him go.
Let's see. We have All Southern Smiles commented. What is the difference between a condom and a coffin? We will let you know the difference as soon as they type it back in. Dirty Dan, what's your bad joke of the day?
So this one is going to be for Elliot since he's the comic book guy.
Yay.
Right?
That's me.
I don't get why Marvel doesn't use the Hulk to advertise more. He's basically one big banner.
Boo and yay at the same time. That was great.
All Southern Smiles commented, What's the difference between a condom and a coffin? One you come in, one you go out in.
Oh my God.
Hey, Goose.
Yes.
I know I told you this, but for your guess,
you were only allowed to tell one, man. Okay, Rebecca put a spell on you.
Rebecca's not your boss. Do it.
Go for it, Dirty Dan. Go for it.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry.
Hurry while she's far away.
I'm sorry. Who showed up again? No.
Hurry.
All. The Queen, for Christ's sake. Here, let me put the titles back up. This will help you.
They Beagle, bad joke of the day.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see.
Oh, Sarah. Oh my
how
God.
How do you make a handkerchief dance?
How?
Put a little boogie in it.
Oh.
That comes straight from my 7-year-old. Thank you,
Elliot.
Why didn't the baker buy a new car?
Why?
Because he didn't have enough dough.
Oh.
There you go.
Gertie.
How's it go? It's one of the kids' jokes, and it's Halloween themed. It's appropriate. What was the ghost's favorite fruit?
What?
Is that where? How's it go?
No.
Okay, you know what I
What's
don't
the
know.
ghost's favorite bee?
Yes, thank you.
Boobies. That's, again, from my 7-year-old. So yeah.
Auron.
You know, I hate my job. All I do is crush cans all day. It's so depressing.
So depressing.
One, it was supposed to be.
Auron.
Okay.
Hey, Dirty Dan is going clean. He's breaking away.
What's the only difference between a dump truck full of bowling balls and a dump truck full of dead babies?
I don't have a dump truck full of bowling balls.
No, you can't unload a dump truck full of bowling balls with a pitchfork.
Well, Auron, you know, how do you fit 1,000 babies into a microwave?
Oh no.
With the same thing, a pitchfork.
Well, okay. Well,
how do you get a dead baby into a bowl?
No.
A blender. How do you get it out? Nachos.
Oh. What's small and pecks on glass?
You want to see my pecker?
No. A baby in a microwave.
Hey, let's get some history. Let's get some history here for the Spooky family. All right, let's see if they're up on their U.S. history.
Okay.
Oh no.
Who were the greenest presidents in U.S. history?
Who?
The Bushes.
Oh, that's a good one. These jokes, man.
What's the difference between jelly and jam?
I can't jelly my dick in your ass.
Oh God.
That was great.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Rebecca, with the hand up.
Paul commented and said, we can recognize how much better Dirty Dan's audio is with a fancy mic. Thank you very much, Paul.
There's always complaints about microphones from the Spooky families.
We had not had any complaints, but I kept sending him mics because I wanted to get that quality sound.
Yeah.
So
what did you
for the angelic voice?
What did you end up getting, Dirty Dan?
I got him a Rode. It's similar to that, but it's for a USB port on it. So
those are nice.
Yes,
Rode makes good microphones.
Yeah.
Becca, what was your joke?
What's the difference between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden?
What?
Hunter Biden doesn't forget his lines.
Nice. That was a good one. Oh, well, I want to thank Auron. I want to thank the Spooky family for coming on. I want to remind everyone to join me and Rebecca every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on YouTube for Honestly Get Real with Goose and Rebecca. I was off last week. My mother, I won't give too much information, but she had a sick spell and I had to take her to the ER. But she's doing a little bit better as we speak. So I want to thank Dirty Dan. I'm sorry I missed Mama Flocker, and I want to thank Rebecca for covering for me last week. That episode is up now on the Here to Chew Bubblegum YouTube page. You can view it. I want to remind everyone you can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. Or how can they email Dirty Dan?
Well, Goose, first I just want to say to whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office, I'll find you. You have my word. You can email us at goose@heretotchewbubblegum.com, dirtydan@heretotchewbubblegum.com, and Rebecca@heretotchewbubblegum.com. You can
jokes.
also email the show netter Elliot@heretotchewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
That's exactly right. Rebecca, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I just want to promote something really special that we're doing. Actually, Auron, myself, and some other very big spiritual creators are doing a massive global meditation on Halloween night starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the meditation is actually starting at 11. And it's a warrior ascension meditation, and it's going to be fucking epic.
And I found a wooden shoe in my toilet today.
That will be live on several platforms. We're going to be live on all of our TikToks, all of our Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. I'm working on iHeartRadio. It's going to be live on Here To Chew Bubblegum. It's going to be everywhere.
At what time will you be serving the Kool-Aid?
We don't do Kool-Aid. We already established it's joints. Everybody gets a joint.
Do you all have the same shoes?
No, we all have our own individual homeless-like styles.
Hey, Elliot.
Yes.
I found a wooden shoe in my toilet today. It was clogged.
Oh, dude.
Dirty Dan is my favorite now.
So
I'm done.
Rebecca, when you type out something, please text that to me, and I'll be sure to put it up on the Here to Chew Bubblegum Facebook page as well.
Thank you. I will get you all the information where it's going to be live.
And anybody that wants to email into the show, if you do the yahoo.com, just remember the password is Forrest Gump's. It's 1 Forrest 1.
There is no fucking password.
All right, Dirty Dan, do you want to tell us about an organization that you're talking about for the last time this month? So,
yes, sir. I'm terrible. For the last
fantastic.
time, we will be talking about the Till Valhalla Project. They were a group established in 2017, rocking the slogan "Where Heroes Live On Forever" under their tribute of a logo, their wonderful tribute of a logo. And the TVP team is all about bringing and spreading the awareness of the help our vets and soldiers need, the ones who have dedicated and sacrificed their time to protect our lives and freedom so that we can do this. And sometimes, and all too much, unfortunately, give the ultimate sacrifice of their own life for us. Julie was quoted saying, "Our mission is to do what it takes, anything to get our name and purpose out to the masses. The sale of these products is going to make a difference, but it's the conversations and the awareness and the spreading that they will bring to less than the 22 a day plus one active duty death a day, which is more significant than any monetary donation. We all need to support each other, most notably our brothers and sisters and the families they left behind. And it's not just about veteran and active duty suicide. It is also ending all suicide." And starting in 2019, they ramped up their donations an additional 20%. And in under 2 full years, they have been able to raise over $1 million for the 22 a day foundation. So if you can, please like, share, follow, check them out, tillvalhallaproject.com. And let's not forget about the boys over at Adventures with Purpose. Type in YouTube, AWP Adventures with a Purpose, and adventureswithpurpose.com.
I want to say special thanks to Carlin for all the voiceover work, and don't forget to check out the new Midlife Crisis album available now. Be sure to check out and support our friends with their own shows. I'm talking about CK and Uncle Bill over at deadpet.com, Talk Junkie with Justin Perkins, Jordan and Brad of Down on the Holler, Seth Ambergy with Seth's Daily Podcast, Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle of SpookyFamilyPodcast.com. Thanks for being in the studios today. Don't forget about the Mountain Mysteries Podcast with Chris Sloan. Also, be sure to check out Cronkite, Snowman, and Large Marge over at Paranormal Trucker. And if you want to awaken more, be sure to check out Rebecca Short on TikTok and Honest Rebecca Thoughts on Twitch.
Hey, Goose.
Yes, Rebecca.
It's actually, I'm going to be changing the name of my Twitch to Queen of the Flock. Just as a heads up, it's going to be switching over.
So if you want to awaken more, check out Rebecca Short on TikTok and Queen of the Flock on Twitch. Dirty Dan, you had a question?
I just wanted to say that I'm finally over my girlfriend I broke up with. She was obsessed with an ex as a mathematician.
Oh, that'll do it for
Can
this
we just
week.
do a show with Dan where he just tells jokes the entire time? That is the best thing ever.
That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week, and until then, so long for now.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Or do.
Smoke the joint.
Plug her out.
You know, if prisoners could take their own mugshots, they'd be called selfies.
I love
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm going home.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.